Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk Live, where we talk about movies, TV shows, and all the latest entertainment news. I'm joined here today by Movies the Maher, the Viking, and our special guest, Rokan.
I'm glad Rokon is bringing the enthusiasm because it's nearly 3 a.m. here and I'm really tired, but that's why we have Rokon. All right, okay. Yeah. No, I was watching, I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind on Netflix
Nice.
earlier. And yeah, it was fantastic. I've seen the movie countless times, of course, but like I just watched it again because it was just available on my home screen. I was like, I'll check out this and love Jim Carrey, especially when he does dramatic stuff because I'm a big fan of comedians doing dramatic work. We'll talk about it later on with a film called Windfall. But yeah, so that movie is fantastic. So I think it's one of the best ever, like of all time.
Yep.
I think it's one of those movies. It's really well done, and it's got a great cast as well. The Hulk is in it, MJ is in it, Elijah Wood is in it as well. So it's got an awesome cast. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I suppose, yeah. No, but Jim Carrey is fantastic in that. I don't think he was nominated for an Oscar, was he? But he probably should have been.
No, he wasn't. It was. I remember like the conversation at that time was that because he had gotten nominated for the Golden Globe that year, and the conversation at the time was he should have gotten nominated for an Oscar and he didn't.
Yeah,
Which I mean, which it's a crime. Personally, I think he should have gotten nominated for Men on the
yeah,
Moon because he won the Golden Globe for that one, but I
yeah.
didn't.
No, he's a fantastic actor, and I think, um, yeah, I want to see him do more dramatic work. But now he said he's just kind of doing Sonic movies, which it's making a lot of money. It's doing well. The new one's coming out soon, which I can't wait to see. But he's like,
Which are
he only
awesome.
has to work. He only has to work like once every 2 years now because he has this franchise Sonic where he doesn't really need to like push himself as much. Like it's already a hit. Sonic One was huge and he was class in it, so I can't wait for the sequel for that. But Jim Carrey, he's the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was my is my childhood hero. I
Mhm.
love him.
Hey, if you're Jason, what's up? So,
Jason, woo!
so let's begin with the first topic of today, which is Godzilla vs. Kong has a sequel coming up, and it's supposed to be filming in Australia later this year. Now, before you guys talk about how good this movie was, let me be the one to be the negative one and say I absolutely did not like this movie at all. As a huge fan of the MonsterVerse and from the first movie, I just loved every single one and watched all of them in the theater. I loved the mythology they were setting up, and I loved how different the tones were for the movies, and I also loved how they were setting up this mythology behind these titans, and it went very far back and all that. And especially my favorite one is definitely King of the Monsters. I know a lot of people hate that movie, and they say that the human characters were not good enough and all that. I don't care about all that. For me, it's all about the monsters, and the mythology of the monsters were pretty much very well done, from what I saw, and the monarch stuff, and how all the titans were emerging from the earth, and how they fought, and the visuals, the symbolism, the mythology of it. So I just loved all of it, right? And then finally they announced Godzilla vs. Kong, and I was super hyped for it. The trailers were really good, and then I saw the movie. So when I saw the movie, I initially kind of liked the first half, what it was setting up, but the characters were really dull, and the story was just not navigating as I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was a complete story at first. And I was like, okay, maybe they're just here for the spectacle, right? The action spectacle. All right, whatever. And then by halfway through the movie, random shit, random plot points are just coming in and going out. Like there's literally no logic involved anymore. And once I got to the halfway point, I was like, okay, I'm already checked out of this movie. It's just doing random shit. But then they went into the spoilers for those who have not seen the movie. Um, they went into the Hollow Earth, which I liked as a concept. Even they teased that in the previous movies, and I liked the concept of it. And I was looking forward to when that would be explored. And yes, it kind of was cool, the technology and how they went there and the initial experience of going in there. That was cool, and I thought that would have been um, better if they explored it more or set up that stuff more. And then randomly you go to Godzilla, who's sitting, you know, Kong, who's sitting down there, and there's literally no setup to it. There's no point of what's going on down there. Randomly, people are dying, and then he creates a massive hole and jumps inside the hole and comes out on top of the earth at the same place, where Godzilla is in Hong Kong or whatever. So it was just weird shit like that that just took me off, and the fight between them was cool. A lot of neon stuff going on, which was weird, but still it at least looked cool. So people who went to see that movie just for their fight, I guess they enjoyed the movie. For me, it was more about how it kind of ruins everything that was set up in the previous movie and all the other movies, this whole universe, basically. And the end of that fight was also absolutely terrible, I thought. He's just walking into the water. So I just didn't like the movie at all. Now, while watching the movie, I thought a lot of the plot points were cut off just to make it shorter, the Warner Brothers 2-hour mandate, whatever. And all that stuff was going through my mind because there was literally characters that were saying stuff that wasn't introduced in the movie itself. So after the movie came out, obviously, we got to know that, yes, a huge chunk of the movie was cut. There was a whole backstory to the main character. The main fucking character, the entire backstory of him was cut off. And he was supposed to be, losing his brother in the Hollow Earth at the beginning and all that stuff. So that was all cut out. The side characters, they had no story at all. They just killed off. Nobody gave a fuck about them. And that movie just left a big distaste in my mouth for this entire universe because that movie is successful. And because it was successful, they'll try to replicate this into the sequel and not Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which was more a mythological approach. So I'm not excited for this movie at all. And just to, just to say this, I had to give my backstory. So yeah, I'm not excited for this movie at all. I don't care about the sequel, especially because it's Godzilla vs. Kong Part 2 apparently, which is basically like, oh, we didn't do it, well the first time. Let's try it again, sort of thing. I don't know. It was so weird.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I wouldn't be surprised if they use kind of Godzilla for the marketing, but it's more of a con movie because remember we got those reports that they were doing like a baby con movie there a while ago, because like look, my favorite monster movie is Kong Skull Island.
I love that movie.
I think that movie is the right blend of comedy, of seriousness, of action, of monsters, and I think it does it well. Like there's a lot of complaints about the human stories are terrible. I actually thought the human stories in Kong Skull Island were actually interesting and good. Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson was actually pretty good in it, and Samuel L. Jackson, John C. Reilly had a nice feel to it as well, and I really liked it. And Kong Skull Island, for me, is just top tier, and the rest of the movies have not met it at all. Even though King of the Monsters is probably the best well-made movie, it had so much mythology and references and stuff like that, which was cool. And I was looking forward to Godzilla versus Kong because I wanted to see these big monsters just absolutely tear each other apart, and they did kind of for a while. But my kind of problem was they kind of made the characters like too animated in a way, in terms of like it's like they were real people looking at each other, like giving each other nods and stuff like this. It just didn't feel like two monsters in a way. I think what they set up for King of the Monsters, they didn't pay it off in this one, in Godzilla versus Kong. And the human stories were just non-existent and non-interesting and stuff like this, and they just were leading nowhere, and I didn't care for them whatsoever. It's not that I don't want human stories. I think you need to have your human stories, because look at Transformers. It was just kind of, I think after a while it would be ridiculous just watching giant Transformers running around with no humans in a way. I want to see my Shia LaBeoufs or Mark Wahlbergs or Hurley Steinfelds. I think you have to do that in the monster movies as well, because you have to relate to certain characters. It's very hard to relate to a massive,
You're telling me you don't relate to Kong?
A giant monkey. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Transformers are relatable. I mean, Bumblebee's kind of Bumblebee's kind of like the teenager of the Autobots. You know what I mean? Like Optimus Prime's like the dad of the Autobots.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way: from a business point of view, it's very hard to attract people just by CGI beings. If you have Mark Wahlberg there or Shia LaBeouf or these big actors, then it's maybe easier for people to show up in a way. But yeah, I don't relate to a 60'5" gorilla and stuff like that. I'm sorry.
You see, I do after a few shots of vodka. I do.
Yeah. You have Rokan climbing lampposts in the middle of the night outside of a bar. But no, look, I'll watch the movie, of course. Am I excited for like I was for Godzilla versus Kong? Not really. I don't know how you do a part 2, considering the two of them became best bros at the end of the last movie. Fist bump, walking off, giving each other hugs. Mechagodzilla was cool. But I want to see more of these monsters. They're monsters. I want to see them go at each other, just tear each other apart. And I want to see the world where very few humans exist, like in the Apes movies, and it's just like the monsters rule the world, like what the end of King of the Monsters set up. And yeah, I also think Adam Wingard, is it, the director?
He has to go.
Kong? Yeah. For me, he is probably a studio's dream, because his movies are making money, and he's probably a yes man for the studio as well in a way. He's not going to go against them in the press. He's not going to say, oh, well, we had this entire thing cut and I wanted to keep it. He's probably not going to do that whatsoever. He's making good money, and in return, he's getting a lot of projects. I think there's a few other projects he got as well.
And that's why he has to go.
Thundercats, I think he's doing that movie or something. He got one of those movies.
Face Off.
Yeah, Face Off, yeah. So my dream for a new monster movie is to bring back the director from Kong Skull Island, Justin Vaught Roberts. He should be brought back. He's the one who should have got Godzilla versus Kong, in my opinion. And I want to see him. I'll get excited for a monster movie if he is brought back into the equation. But yeah, the new one, I think it's bringing a lot of jobs to Australia. I read that. So that's awesome for that economy and stuff like that, and it's shooting there. So I'll watch the movie, of course. But yeah, I'm not counting down the days.
Rokan?
Yeah, my excitement on the Monsterverse, I think, peaked after seeing King of the Monsters, because I did like King of the Monsters a lot.
Nice.
But but after that with Godzilla vs. Kong, I guess something about it. I didn't quite feel the payoff to the showdown, because like it didn't even feel like Godzilla vs. Kong. It really just felt like Kong. Felt more of a Kong, like Skull Island 1.5 movie than Godzilla vs. Kong. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, I've enjoyed Kong Skull Island, but if I want Kong Skull Island the sequel, I would ask for Kong Skull Island 2, and not what we got, which is Godzilla vs. Kong. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, they said that Legendary had said that Godzilla vs. Kong was going to be it for them. That was that they had built up to the whole showdown, that they had the rights up into that point. Like, that was kind of like their deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what you could do as a part 2. I would much rather see the mythologies of Godzilla and Kong be more expanded. Like, I'd rather see a Godzilla 3, or I'd rather see a Kong 2, because I think you can do so much. Like, Godzilla's world of monsters is just barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like they've done about 20 or 30 movies of Godzilla fighting certain monsters. So I wish you could kind of do that instead, and I wish you could also expand on the Kong mythology more, especially considering how Jackson pretty much did so much with the Kong mythology and still remade the old Kong movie. I'd hope that I'd hope that a Kong sequel would have done something similar to that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have to wait till I see the trailer. I do agree that I think Adam Wingard is kind of just a classic case of a director yes man, and I think he's just going to I think he's just going to just deliver just a standard generic like blockbuster,
Which is fine, but at least deliver a complete movie.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but I mean, give credit to Gareth Edwards and Roberts and Mike Dougherty. They actually embraced what they were making, and they had fun with it. So I don't know, and also Wingard's comments during the press tour of Godzilla vs. Kong rubbed me the wrong way, because he would take shots at Zack Snyder, and that rubbed me the wrong way, because I felt like he was just speaking from the executive.
There's also that, but I think I'm at a point where I can separate that kind of stuff, even though it kind of bugs me, but I can separate that kind of stuff if their work is actually really good, So for example, if The Boys, if that was made by someone who, kind of took shots at Zack before, but I love the show, then it wouldn't matter as much to me, Another example is Rian Johnson, like The Last Jedi. I love that movie a lot, but he has taken shots at Zack a lot of times. But yeah, so I just hope that he doesn't come back, or at least if he does, this time at least, just whatever the runtime is, just make a complete movie. I don't want major plot points cut off from the movie in the editing. It just has to feel like a complete movie from start to finish. That's all I'm asking for.
And actually make the human beings interesting, because I could not give a shit about any of the human beings aside from Millie Bobby Brown.
That's true. Even though Charles Dance was in it.
Wait, I thought Charles Dance was in Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought he was only in King of the Monsters, but I guess he hasn't gone. It's been ages. I have only watched Godzilla vs. Kong once.
I think they are making a series of the Monsterverse as well, right? On Apple TV.
On Apple TV, and that I can see happening, because I think Apple TV.
That I'm more excited for actually, because Apple TV has built this trust in me. I will watch literally anything in there.
Best quality around. I don't know what cameras they use. It's just perfect every single time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. I think that's probably the best potential we can hope for for the Monsterverse going forward. And I stand corrected, it wasn't Justin Vaught Roberts, it's Jordan Vaught Roberts. My bad.
Nice.
And also, isn't he doing Metal Gear Solids right now?
Yeah.
And I think another project for the Monsterverse is an animated spin-off on Netflix, I think. If I remember correctly.
I think Netflix has some of the rights as well now.
So Legendary just severed all the relationship they had with WB, and they just want to, continue Dune with them, but they don't want to continue the Monsterverse with them.
Can we blame them? Absolutely not.
Well, if the Godzilla vs. Kong made a lot of money when the pandemic was really high and bad. Imagine, it was on HBO Max, so a HD copy was available. It would have made a lot more money if it wasn't available on streaming. So
that's true.
I can understand why, and I'm sure a movie like that isn't too cheap to make.
That is why, and it also did a lot. It also did well on HBO Max itself, and that is why I kind of hated that, because why are people loving this movie yet they hate it on King of the Monsters? That just tells the executives that just make the monsters fight and put neon everywhere. They won't care about the story, whatever.
Well, audiences are weird sometimes. the cool stuff, and like I prefer the story based stuff like Kong Skull Island or King of the Monsters, but the popular kind of cool guy film was Godzilla versus
Yeah.
Kong, because you get to see these two monsters fight, and it's easy on the eyes, and it's you never seen it before. So that's
DJ
probably
worked
why.
on it
And
right after the Snyder Cut.
who's that? Oh yeah. The visual effects are fantastic,
Yeah.
so that's no
Well, I mean,
surprise.
it's wet. It's weta. It's weta. Would you
Yeah.
expect? Would you expect anything less? You
Yeah,
know?
no, it looks great. It looks fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let us know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this? I certainly am not, but I'm probably will watch it. But let us know what you thought. So moving on to the next topic, which is Maher's favorite topic to talk about. Every single time there's news about it. Congratulations, Maher. Your viewing experience is rewarded yet again. Superman and Lois is renewed for season 3.
I got a letter today from CW thanking them for keeping the lights on at CW and at the DCTV.
You're the only one
Superman
watching
and
it,
Lois.
like with on 10 TVs on your home. You just put on one show.
Yeah, I'm pirating the shit out of it. I've got VPNs in India and China and in America. Look, I really like the show. I think it's fantastic. It's simple. It's a simple show. It doesn't take too many risks, but sometimes simple is good, because people lose their shit over stuff like Zack Snyder's World or the Joker movie and stuff when things decide to be different. But yeah, Superman and Lois was renewed for a 3rd season. No surprise, because it's one of the biggest shows on CW, and it's very hard to get cancelled on CW. Look at the Flash, a movie, or the Flash series, and how poor that's gotten as the seasons go on, and that's been renewed.
Supernatural.
Flash also
it's
got
been
renewed for season 9.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and Riverdale is renewed. So like, it's very hard to get cancelled on CW. If you have somewhat of a fan base, you're probably going to get renewed. But the difference between Superman and Lois and the rest of them is Superman and Lois is good. It really is. And I think it was Elizabeth Tulloch who plays the character Lois Lane. She was saying that I don't know where this rumor came from that we have a HBO Max budget. We don't. We've got the same budget as every other CW show. It's just what we're doing with our money is different from the rest of them, and that's because of the team that's involved. They actually have really good directors, really good writers, really good crew, VFX team, and they're different from the rest of the CW shows. I think that's where that's where it's different, because the crew members are very talented. I'm not saying that the other crew members in the other shows aren't, but they're not using their budget to the best possible way with their talents. The team with Superman and Lois are, and the show looks really, really good and fantastic. Of course, it's not amazing CGI level movie every single episode. They can't really do that. Like in this episode, the latest one, there wasn't that much action at all. Superman went in and saved a few people, but they looks like they used all their budget on this big time kind of. It's a you can jump into this portal to go to a different Earth and stuff like that. And it looked really cool. I'll post some pictures on Twitter, and the visual effects there were fantastic. But it was more story based. And now it's been renewed for season 3, and that's no surprise. I'm very excited over this and very, very happy, because I love the show. I think Tyler Hoechlin's a fantastic Superman. He's doing a really good job in a time where Henry Cavill is in the door and he's out the door. You just don't know what's going on with him. So, I'm very happy to hear that this is renewed. I don't watch The Flash anymore. I just think everything I've seen from clips online and stuff like that, it doesn't look as good or as interesting anymore. But Superman and Lois does, and it's yet to have that CW predicted dip that most of these shows have. Maybe it will in season 3. I don't know, but for now, it's doing very, very well. And this season so far has kind of focused on Bizarro, who is a reversed version of Superman. His S is backwards. He speaks backwards. Instead of having the laser vision, he has the ice vision, and he has kind of fire breath. And that character was pretty cool. And spoilers for people out there, a few episodes ago, he was killed off because there's this woman called Ali Alston who was the leader of a cult, and she has come into possession of this pendant, and she wants to kind of combine her Bizarro self from the different universe together to rule the galaxy and the world. Because on Bizarro's world, that's what happened. Ali Alston destroyed his world. He came to this Earth to find this Earth's Ali Alston to kill her. And that's where he came across Superman. He explained this to Superman and stuff like this. So like, this episode was good. You just kind of have there's General Anderson, who now is not a General Anderson anymore because he has been exposed. He tried to kill Superman, arrest Superman and stuff like this. He didn't like how Superman was kind of his own. He was in control of himself. He wanted to control Superman at all times as the general and stuff like this. And now he has joined Ali Alston, and he's taking this ex-kryptonite, which gives him Kryptonian powers. And something I don't like about the series is is everybody seems to be able to get kryptonite powers so easily because in the mines there is ex-kryptonite and people have made drugs from it. And if you have this inhaler with the gas in it, you take it, you get Superman powers for a little while. Some of the football players have been using it. There's a big storyline with drugs in the football team. They've all been using ex-kryptonite to play better and stuff like this. There's a big investigation into it. And Jonathan, Superman's kid, he was taking it as well to be a better quarterback. And this is the son without the powers. So there's a big side storyline going on there. I just don't like how anybody can have kryptonite powers. It kind of reminds me of The Flash, where everybody can have the Speed Force, or everybody can run fast. Just don't do that. It's okay with some of the characters, but don't do it with all the characters. And in this episode as well, we get to see Jordan, who does have Superman powers. He gets to kind of make his first kind of rescue. He saves his brother from being attacked. So that was kind of cool. And we've seen some set photos where Jonathan and Jordan will both have powers this season. We don't know if Jonathan is from a different universe or what's going on, because Bizarro was a reverse version of Superman. We don't know if this is a reversed version of Jonathan. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, so we have the big storyline kind of is Ali Alston. She has this big cult. She wants to combine with herself from the other world to be powerful, to take over this world. And we have Superman trying to stop her. And there's this pendant, which is very powerful. And Superman needs to find it and he needs to destroy it. That's what Bizarro was trying to do. Unfortunately, he was killed off. We also have Superman's brother, who made an appearance a couple of episodes ago, Tal Rowe, his half-brother. Great character. He's on kind of a redemption arc right now, because in season 1, he was the main villain. This season, he's witty, he's very funny, he's helping Superman sometimes and stuff like that. So he's going on a big redemption arc. We also have John Henry Irons, who is Steel. He was injured a few episodes ago. He hasn't got to do much this season. I love the actor. I love the character so much, so I'm interested to see what can happen with that character going forward. Yeah, but episode 8, really good. We have like 5 or 6 episodes left, but they take week breaks sometimes, so they might have an episode, then a 2-week break, and then they come back and stuff like that. So yeah, the episodes are good. They're more story based, stuff like that, well written. The action isn't always there, but when the action's done, it's pretty entertaining. So yeah, I really have no complaints about that, because what I like about the show is that everyone loves Superman, of course, and Clark Kent and Lois and stuff like that, but the side storylines are actually as interesting as the main storyline, and I think that's a great platform for a well-written show. So that's kind of my thoughts on this season so far, the last few episodes of Superman and Lois.
Nice. How many episodes are left?
I think last season there was 15 episodes, and I don't know if it was cut short because of COVID and stuff like that. So maybe this year they've managed it a little bit better. So they haven't said exactly how many there is, but we're on episode 8. We have episode 9 coming, of course, next week. And I'm sure there'll be a few week breaks and stuff like that as well. So we could get 15 or 16 episodes. So like this week, the last episode we got was 2 weeks ago. So that's what they do sometimes, which I don't mind either, because the show, it goes on for longer in the year, and you get to kind of theorize a little bit more, and like you think, okay, I got an episode this week, and I'm going to one for 2 weeks. Like that's not too bad. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens actually with the Bizarro world, because everything in that world is kind of reversed, and I'm wondering, General Anderson, who's not General anymore because he kind of portrayed his country, he's gone into that world. So in the comics, that character had kryptonite powers and he fought Superman. So it looks like he's going to get permanent powers, morphing with his other self. So we'll have to see that in the next few episodes. But also, the actor that plays Anderson was on Teen Wolf with Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Superman. The two of them were on that show. Was it Teen Wolf work on? That Tyler Hoechlin was on? Do you know that?
Yeah, he was on Teen Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, so those two actors are kind of reunited in this series, and they're going to face off pretty soon as Kryptonians. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that battle.
All right. So let's jump on to the next topic, which is Windfall, a movie that I am planning to watch, but I haven't watched yet. But Maher, you've seen it. What do you think?
Did you hear anything about this movie at all, KC or Rokan? Did you guys hear anything about Windfall?
I just knew that the only thing I know is that it's got Lily Collins and Jason Segel, who I'm a big Lily Collins fan. So
yeah. So like, this is a new Netflix movie, and I was interested in this one because I'm a huge Jesse Plemons fan. Of course, from Breaking Bad, and he's been in numerous movies and stuff like that. So I love him so much. Jason Segel as well, who's kind of taking a seat back from comedy movies because they're not as popular as they used to be. Now he's going more of a
I
dramatic
thought that
role.
was Ryan
And
Gosling.
also got Ryan Gosling. I thought that from the poster as well, actually, as well, because I didn't know much about it. But yeah, so this movie, it's Lily Collins, of course, is in it too. It's a very small movie. There's about 4 actors in the entire thing.
What?
And it's about this kind of this guy. Yeah, 4 actors in the entire movie. It's a really small movie, and like so, this guy Jason Segel, he breaks into kind of rich people's holiday homes. You know, they try and live their lives for a few days and be robbed some money and stuff like that. But the couple, Lily Collins and Jesse Plemons, they come back early from their vacation, or they go to their vacation home for a vacation. And of course, Jason Segel's character is still in the house. So he's about to escape, but then he's seen last second. So he takes the 2 of them as hostages, ties them up, and he doesn't know what to do. And he decides that he wants money. And it's funny because he's not really trying to like kidnap them or look for money or stuff like that. But Jesse Plemons' character is like, look, what do you want? I can give you money if you tie us up, and I can get the money here. So it's kind of like Jesse Plemons is walking him through him being kidnapped. You know, he's helping the guy because he doesn't want to be hurt and stuff like that. So the movie is, I think Jason Segel was one of the writers on it as well. It's really well made. The performances are fantastic. Everyone is fine in it. There's 4 actors in the entire thing. Some nice kind of scenery shots and stuff like that. Nothing major happens in terms of like action or anything like that. It's more of an acting based movie, and it's good. It's good. It was just missing that extra punch. It tries a few metaphors here and there, like maybe just to nail it in the end. And it's kind of predictable come the third act. You kind of probably can guess what's going to happen next. But look, I haven't seen Jason Segel in a while. I thought he performed very well in a dramatic role. Jesse Plemons, fantastic as always. So yeah, I check it out if you're a fan of these actors and you're a fan of little smaller, maybe indie style movies, because this one is very much like that. I can say that the budget was probably nothing on this movie, very small, and I got to see some fantastic actors act. And it's a story that I've seen kind of before, kind of, you know, smaller movies with a few actors. This one just was missing that extra punch, but I enjoyed watching the performances, and I check it out on Netflix. It's no harm. It's not even that long of a movie. So, and yeah, it's not fantastic. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. It's definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
Cool. I'm sold. But man,
Jesse
I
Plemons
really
is
thought that was
fantastic.
Ryan
I love him.
Gosling.
Yeah, so did I. I didn't know it was Jason Segel until I watched the movie.
Cool. But yeah, like
You like-
I like Jesse Plemons. I like Lily Collins. I was immediately pulled in.
But as I talked about earlier, like the comedy actors doing drama work, they bring something different to it. And Jason Segel here, he looks like a tortured guy as well. And we don't really get all of his backstory, but there's obviously something in his life that's kind of messed him up in some way for him to do what he's doing, breaking into these rich homes to see how the other half lives. Of course, he has some resentment towards people like that. And he comes across this rich couple and he sees it as an opportunity for him to make some money. But, you know, he's trying to escape. He's seen, tries to escape again. Something happens. He's trying to get the money. Something happens. So it never goes as planned for him in this movie at all. And that's pretty funny in its own way when not trying to be like a slapstick comedy or an over-the-top comedy. It's got its humor here and there, but realistic humor and stuff like that. So, yeah, I thought it was cool.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is Fresh, and the movie is called Fresh. Yeah, another movie I haven't watched
Okay, see,
yet, and I know literally nothing about it. And Maher,
Did I sell you on it?
Maher did a very bad job at selling me on it. So here you go, Maher. You have the entire platform. You can sell at least the 2 of us on this movie.
Yeah, so this is a brand new movie. And you should watch it. Oh, okay. It's yeah, see, I was trying to say to KC, watch Fresh. And he was like, what's it about? I'm like, I don't really want to say. You're not really selling me on the movie. I don't want to give away anything about the movie because actually, in a way, it's very unique. And it's on Disney Plus right now.
Is that why it's
on
called
Hulu,
Fresh?
I think, or wherever you.
The fresh idea.
I don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. But it's on. It's a 20th Studios production. You know, a sub studio of Disney. It's on Disney Star here. So look, it stars Sebastian Stan, Daisy Edgar Jones, who's an actress I don't think I've come across before, but she was actually very good in this movie. I'm sure I've seen her somewhere. But yeah, Sebastian Stan is just having so much fun in this movie. But kind of the IMDb plot for it is the horrors of modern day dating seen through one young woman's battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. And so, yeah, the movie, I didn't know what it was about. I didn't watch a trailer or anything like that. I just sat down to watch it. And it felt like a romantic movie. It felt like a romantic movie, and it was a romantic movie. But what was interesting about this movie, I don't think, kind of in a way, you'll see if you watch the movie. But it's messed up. But it's what I found. I don't think I've ever seen this movie in a movie before. But 30 minutes into the movie, the title is revealed. You know, in some movies, like this is the Batman.
Did you say 30 minutes?
Movie's called. You see,
30
minutes in, we don't. Oh. Yes, we don't. 33 minutes in, to be precise, we don't see the title of the movie or which actors are in the movie until the 33rd minute mark. Because some movies you see starring, you know, whoever, Robin Pattinson or Ben Affleck at the start, Ana de Armas, and then the title maybe in the first opening few minutes. But here it's 30 minutes in. And I thought that, well, that's pretty interesting because the movie sets up this kind of love, you know, romantic movie, and then it kind of throws you a curveball, and then the actual plot is revealed, and then the actor names come up, and then the title name comes up. I'm like, the movie's only starting now. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. And yeah, so there's some really weird scenes in this because Sebastian Stan's character is messed up, and he he likes to dance a lot, and he dances with, you know, his love interest, who is, yeah, I can't give away too much, but yeah, you'll see on TikTok, a lot of people are putting kind of music to the dancing that they're doing, and they're dancing side to side, and Sebastian Stan is there, he's loving it, and yeah, it's a really weird movie, and yeah, it's not like perfect, but it does its job because it's weird, it's freaky, it's a horror kind of thriller movie, and you're thinking to yourself, this is messed up, this is weird, I don't really want to watch this, but you can't really stop watching it because you want to see what happens next. And yeah, I think Sebastian Stan is just having a fantastic time right now with, you know, Pam and Tommy, and he's really good in this movie as well. So is the actress. Is
this a Hannibal Lecter origin story?
It's kind of something like that, but it's yeah, there's some weird imagery as well in the movie that's maybe hard.
This is on Hulu, right?
Well, yeah, it's on Hulu. Well, here it's on Disney Plus Star, and yeah, so it's kind of inspired by those types of movies, serial killer movies and stuff like that. But yeah, it shows a lot of stuff, and some stuff I didn't really
see. Now you sold me on it,
and yeah. The
fact that you said it's a weird, disturbing movie was already all.
Yeah, and even the title thing.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked that.
Yeah,
you know, I don't think I've seen that before. Maybe I don't think I've ever seen 30 minutes into a movie it starts to show the actors and the actual story. But yeah,
I think the last time I saw a movie do that was either Drive My Car or the Friday the 13th remake.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like, because I didn't watch a trailer or read anything about this movie. I just pressed play, so I knew there was something up with Sebastian Stan's character just by like the poster and just by like the image that was on the app. But I thought maybe it was something like a 50 Shades of Grey kind of take or something like that, you know, because it's just the way he looked and the way he presented himself. But it was actually much darker and sinister than that. And yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't really want to eat my after, you know. Just that's all I'll say.
Yeah, he's a consider me interested.
He's a doctor. He's a plastic surgeon. So that's all I'm going to say.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Rokan, are you sold on this movie?
It's a real. I already was sold on it just from him just saying how weird it is. I mean, you know, granted, I've also seen like a bunch of other people's reviews of it. I saw like Wonder Meg's review of it on Instagram. She really liked the movie too, and so I do want to check it out. I also haven't seen Pam and Tommy yet. I wanted to wait until the whole series was done for me to watch it. So I think I may do like a Sebastian Stan double feature with Fresh and Pam and Tommy.
Yeah, go for it. And Sebastian Stan, you get to see a lot of him. shirtless and all those things. So if you like that, you'll love the shows.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of weird horror movies, we have a new one that's come out, which I badly wanted to watch, but unfortunately it didn't release here. So this is the one time that I'm
Yeah.
pretty upset / angry at A24. But yeah, a movie named X.
Well, you shouldn't be, because it's a good movie.
Yeah, that's why I'm upset, because I can't see it. So, yeah, both of you
Yeah.
saw it. What did you think of it?
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, I got to see X. It's a brand new A24 horror movie, and A24 makes hits, like really good movies, so you know it's going to be that good. I was intrigued by this one because the first trailer I thought was absolutely fantastic, really appealed to me. And the kind of plot for this movie is it takes place in 1979. You have this group of young filmmakers who make adult movies. They rent out this farm in the middle of Texas to shoot this dirty movie. And there's an old couple that lives on the farm. They own the farm. They don't know what they're doing. And when they find out what they're doing in their backyard, basically making an adult movie, the young filmmakers now have to fight for their lives. Pretty interesting, simple concept and freaky. Stars Mia Goth, who is probably fantastic in the movie, and also Jenny Ortega, who's a Scream queen right now from Scream, and she's really making a name for herself. I liked the movie. I didn't love the movie. I thought it was good. Thought it was missing that extra kind of oomph, something kind of extra for it. Sorry. And the music was good, but I would have had more 70s music, because the movie is actually it's slow in a lot of places where I think it will lose many people. But if it had some 70s music in a certain scenes, it would have kept the pacing going a little bit better. But overall, the kills are absolutely brutal. They're insane, hard to look at times. Very gory movie. Mia Goth, I loved in the film. And there's no perfect character in this. They're not all nice guys or anything. You're not really rooting for anybody in particular. They just find themselves in a very weird situation. And it's kind of like a messed up horror romantic movie as well. You'll see it when you watch the movie. And also, it feels like it was recommended by the weirdest guy because of how weird he is and how weird this is. And it actually feels like a movie that came from the 1970s. That's a cult classic that you never heard of before. You checked it out, and you actually
that
really
weird
liked
guy is me,
Rock
and I still haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
Rock on.
So I got to see it like on the Thursday night, like 7:00 showing, and I actually didn't know about this movie until like a month ago, where me and my friends went to go see Studio.
Oh, how was that?
Which, funny enough, that movie was a lot of fun. If you're a Foo Fighters fan, you're gonna have such a good time with it. And funny enough, Jenna Ortega is in Studio 6.
Is she gonna just do all the horror movies now?
I would not. Oh, she is Wednesday Addams, so I would not.
I'm not complaining either. She's great. I think I first saw her in You season 3, or it might have been before that, once before that. But yeah. Oh, season 2. Yeah, she's great in that.
I've never watched any episodes of You, but I did see her in The Babysitter, which I thought she was fantastic in. And like I said, I mean, you guys know I'm a big fan of Jenna Ortega's, and I can say she is like one of, first off, she's barely in 2666, but she does get a bloody death in that film. But it's not a spoiler. It's like literally in the first 5 minutes of the movie. But like, yeah, for something like X, she is like one of the standouts. I feel like it's her, Mia Goth, and actually Brittany Snow too, because Brittany Snow, I've always just seen Brittany Snow as just the beautiful singing girl and stuff like Hairspray and Pitch Perfect, but here she gets to do something that is so vastly different than anything she's done, and she was great in the movie. But yeah, so the movie overall, X, I had nothing but a fun time with it. Like, to me, like it's what I kind of like consider to be kind of like a modern day Grindhouse type of movie. Like, it gives you that vibe from the tone, from the way the kills are done and everything like that. Because some of the kills are brutal, and other times the kills are hilarious. Like, there's some kills that I bursted out laughing. It's true. I'm a sick bastard, I know, but I had such a good time with it, and it's funny, like, you know how like some people ask you, what'd you think, and you say, oh, the movie's like this movie and that movie and blah blah. Like my friend, he texted me that, and he asked, what's it like, and I said to him, it's basically Boogie Nights meets the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, so I have to ask. This movie is a slasher movie, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh, yeah.
the villain in this movie, is that a mystery or is that just revealed from the start?
No, they make it pretty obvious. They make it pretty obvious.
So are they good?
Is. You're just you're
As a character?
I mean, they're. It's hard for me to give it to say anything because it delves into a lot of spoiler territory. I will just say is that they're intriguing. Nice. They're very they're very intriguing, and you do get a general sense of why they are the way they are.
Yeah, that's why I call it a messed up romantic movie. That's why, because it's just some of the themes that they bring out, and it actually there's some good tension in the movie as well. There's a scene where there's somebody swimming in the lake, and there's crocodiles in the lake, I think, as well. And it's kind of like a Jaws moment where they're swimming, and you can get a bird's eye view, is it, from up top, and you just see the person swimming, and you also see the crocodile or the gator swimming towards them, and you're like, oh, they're going to get closer, they're going to get them. And there's some nice tension like that, and there's a certain scene where somebody's looking through kind of holes in the wall, and something bad is going to happen, but it builds it up because there's so many holes. Looking through this one, it's fine, stuff like that, which is cool. There's also some really creepy stuff as well in terms of Mia Goth is asleep in bed and something's happening to her there, so weird. And also Mia Goth's under the bed and something weird's happening there as well. So there's so many weird kind of scenes in it as well. And the movie doesn't like cut away. It doesn't. Rokan knows the movie doesn't cut away at all from any of this stuff at all. And at times I kind of wish it did, because it showed stuff pretty much on all the time, and it didn't hide anything.
I just want to say for the record, okay, so I mean, I always usually wear my glasses right here. I'm wearing my contacts, but I wear my glasses because I'm blind without them. And some stuff in this movie that when it was going down, especially with the Mia Goth under the bed scene, I literally took my glasses off just so I couldn't see a thing.
Yeah.
That's
one I
Mia Goth is great.
But and she's fantastic.
She's from Midsommar.
Probably. Yeah, but she's living everybody's dream. She's Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend, and
is it everybody's dream though?
She's perfect. My dream. She's perfect for all these weird horror films, because I see she's in the Suspiria remake.
Oh yeah, she was in that.
A Cure for Wellness, and she fits those types of movies perfectly, and she fits this movie so well.
Yeah, oh, she does. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and
just do the easy choices. She could be in any movie, but she decides to do these weird ones.
Yeah, she could probably be in the next Cronenberg movie for all we know.
It'd be cool. But she gets to be with Shia LaBeouf every day. That's like my dream. So I'm jealous, Mia Goth. I thought the movie it's good. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, because the trailer for me was actually so good. Sometimes when trailers are so good, you expect a certain thing. And I thought it was good. Some nice kills, some nice tension there here and there. Some interesting characters, a lot of sexual scenes. If you like that stuff, a lot of gore, blood. If you're into all that stuff, you're probably gonna like the movie. If you're not, it's not for you. Don't watch it.
Yeah. I want to say for the record, when you do go see it, Casey, stay during the credits, because there's a little thing after the credits have rolled.
All right, I will. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Another erotic thriller. And it's called Deep Water, starring Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas. So, I'll keep it short. My thoughts on it. I was actually very interested in this because I love thrillers and I love mystery. I love, murder mysteries and all that stuff. So, this movie was okay. It was good-ish. I thought it could have been much better if the director actually went, all the way through with what his vision was. I thought he held back a lot with certain things in the movie that happened. I thought he could have executed those better, especially because it's on Hulu. You have free reign, just do whatever. And I did like the dynamic between Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas' characters. It was so weird and frustrating to see that, which was the point. But yeah, I did like the characters there, and also I just didn't like the ending. It kind of felt like they gave up finishing the movie with a good strong ending, and just randomly ended the movie. But yeah, apart from that, I did like it overall. It was okay, just not as good as I was hoping for it to be.
Yeah, it's the brand new Hulu movie, and it's on. Look, this is a movie that I was actually interested to watch. I'll watch Ben Affleck and anything. I love him so much, but like, this is a movie that was delayed time and time again, and COVID reasons, pandemic reasons, but also probably because they didn't think it was going to do well in theaters, and it was originally planned for the theaters, and now it's on a streaming service. And the movie's under 2 hours. It was originally supposed to be 2.5 hours. So there was a lot of material cut from this movie as well. I think a lot of the erotic scenes were cut as well with Ana de Armas and Ben Affleck and stuff like that. There's not that much that we were told about, which I'm not saying I'm disappointed about, but in terms of I want to see more of the story, because I think there is a story here. I think there's actually a good movie here, and actually maybe the good movie of this movie is on the cutting room floor. That's potentially the reason as well. But Ben Affleck for me is in every single scene, and he's the most entertaining thing about the movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching him in a different role. I thought he was fantastic. His character is like he's a specialist drone maker or something like that for the military. They didn't use that enough because him and his wife have this kind of awkward, weird relationship where she's kind of allowed to have affairs and have boyfriends and stuff like this to keep the marriage intact. And it's kind of told to you that maybe Ben Affleck's character gets rid of these boyfriends, he kills them and stuff like that. But it doesn't really give you enough for that to be concrete. It's kind of like a mystery to it. And that's where it kind of starts, because one of her friends goes missing and the other friend goes missing. And then you figure out what exactly is going on. And there's some cool kind of metaphors here as well. There's one where he collects snails, and one of the characters, one of the boyfriends, wants to have snails with his dinner or something like that. And Ben Affleck's character won't let him kill the snails, and they're not for that. They're not for eating. They're not for killing and stuff like that. There's a cool metaphor there that's brought in halfway through the movie, and then later on in the movie, it's kind of given some kind of extra nuance to it, but it didn't have enough kind of background to it. It didn't have enough kind of pushing it on from earlier in the movie. There's kind of cool stuff like that. It's kind of like the snail metaphor in the movie is like a metaphor for the actual movie. It's slow in places, and it doesn't fulfill what it's going for at all. So I did think it's a good watch. It's not a bad movie. It's one to watch maybe with a partner or a friend, something like that. Sit down and watch it for the under 2 hours. I think you have a pretty good time. But other than that, the deep thinking to it, or the psychological thriller to it all, or the metaphors to it all, isn't quite there for this one at all. I don't know if that's because the actual entire movie is bad, or because there was a lot of stuff cut out. But Ben Affleck's fantastic, and Ana de Armas is fine. But yeah, I think it's just it's a huge missed opportunity, because I think there's actually a great story here. Maybe with a better writer, better director, it could have been done better. But yeah, it's a missed opportunity for me, which is just a shame.
Yeah, it's also a movie based on a book.
A book, yeah. I don't know. The book's probably better.
Yeah. Rokan, have you seen this?
I haven't watched it yet. No. I do want to check it out because I do love Ben Affleck and I love Ana de Armas, and I was actually really intrigued by it because of the fact that Adrian Lin is directing it, and he hasn't directed a movie in like 20 years or 25 years.
Probably should have directed some.
Unfaithful.
Probably should have
what?
directed some before this.
I agree. I mean, I agree because his specialty is kind of like erotic thrills, because he did Unfaithful, which I saw that with a girlfriend a few years ago, and basically just kind of like how Diane Lane and Richard Gere are like a married couple, and she has an affair with like a painter or something like that, and violence ensues and stuff like that. So he's an expert into this genre. So it kind of surprised me that this one didn't quite hit the landing. I guess judging from what you guys have said. So I don't know. But I may check it out just because I'm intrigued.
I've seen people actually shitting on the movie. They say it's really bad and very slow and all that. One review I saw was, this is a movie that was directed and shot with a camera. That's it. That was their review. And I was like, okay, it couldn't be that bad. Ben Affleck's in there, Ana de Armas is in there, and they made this movie when they were together. So it's not like it was a bad trouble production. So I don't know what happened. I just think that the director probably tried playing it too safe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's a missed opportunity. But Ben Affleck's character is actually very interesting just to watch. He's a very weird, intimidating guy. We don't know what exactly is going on with him at all. So he's entertaining. Just watch it for Ben Affleck because he's in every scene.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the next topic, which is Severance. All right. So, okay. So everybody knows here that we love Severance a lot, and obviously week to week, it's just keep getting better and better. And now finally, episode 4 and 5. You know what this show is? Even I don't know what the show is, but the thing is, something is going on and you theorize what is going on and you talk about it with your friends, and then the next episode you just throw it all away because it completely changes stuff or introduces new elements, which then you have new theories for, and then the next episode you just throw that away as well. So the good thing about the show is it keeps the mystery going, and the excitement level is still high because of the execution. It's really good. The characters are all really awesome as well, and their character arcs are also pretty good, inside and outside the office, and that just wants you to keep coming back every week. As soon as it airs, you just want to be there and watch it live, so it's that kind of a show. And I think that it's one of the best shows in a long time. And Maher, I know that you call it the Matrix of today, and I can see why, because it's definitely very confusing, very simulation type of a show, and the way it's shot and the way they show the office, the symmetry and all that stuff, it's amazing. And I just look, I'm saying all these good things about it, I still don't know what's it about. So if you ask me what this show is about, I can just tell you it's about a man. He goes to a company, and there's a procedure in this company that severs a person's surgically. They separate the work life and the outside life. That's it. There's literally nothing else we know about this show apart from that. We don't know what the company does. We don't know what they make. We don't know how many people there are. We don't know why there are different sections or different floors or anything like that. We don't know anything about it. We don't know what time frame this world is set in, and we don't know who the company was founded for. You don't know why it's running. You don't know why everything is so secretive, and new elements keep getting introduced in every episode, and we don't know why those are being introduced. So it's kind of like we're on the same page as the characters themselves, but we're not getting frustrated or tired of it because it keeps you engaged. So I'm just loving every episode. I just haven't found a single weak episode yet. I just think that every single episode has been top tier, and I'm super anticipating the next episode, just like every week.
Yeah. No, the show was well crafted. It's finely tuned. It's like the modern day Matrix for me is something, because I think if this show was on HBO Max or if it was on Netflix, I think there would be a lot more following for it in terms of picking out what the symbolism means and what this picture means, because there is so much deeper meaning and layers to this, big time. I'm sure there's a huge story behind the goats and the man in the room feeding these goats, these baby goats. That was
Baby
weird
goats.
to look at, but I bet you there's a deeper thing to it as well. And the show is well directed, as we said. I think Ben Stiller directs some of the episodes, and there's a female director who's directing most of the episodes as well. And they're doing a fantastic job. And the performances are fantastic from Adam Scott, John Turturro, Patricia Arquette, Christopher Walken. The actress that plays Helly, she's doing a fantastic job. And what I like about this series is that in the opening shot of the actual series in episode 1 is we find Helly sitting on lying on a table, and she wakes up in this new environment, and she's like, what the hell's going on? We're Helly in that situation. We don't know what's going on either. We're unraveling this mystery with her, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And it's a very scary show. I would say it's one of the most ungoriest, slasher, scariest shows / movies that I've ever watched, because the idea of what this is actually more terrifying than actually knowing what it is, because the characters are referred to as innies and outies. It's the same person. I'm the same person, but if I get this procedure done, I don't remember my personal life while I'm at work, and I don't remember my work life while I'm in my personal life. And that's what it's all about. And it's very scary because you have this kind of disconnect, this kind of split of personality between your innie and your outie, because the innie at work does not want to be there. They don't know why they're there. They don't know why they're working there. All they're told is to get rid of these scary numbers. And at the end of the day, they get into this elevator and they're going home. Their body's going home, but their mind is not, because the minute that elevator closes, it reopens for them again and a new day starts. They never get to sleep. They never get to chill. They never get to sit down, have some dinner and just watch some TV. They don't have that life at all. Their outie does, but they don't remember any of it. That's where you have this kind of split personality. And Helly is a character who has tried to, kill herself because she doesn't like this place. She wants to leave and stuff like this. She does not want to be at Lumen Industries at all. And she's trying to tell her outie all about this, and that's why it's a bad place. But her outie is having none of it whatsoever. Her outie even sends her a video message saying, don't you ever try and hurt me ever again. So you have this disconnect. It's two different people in the one body. And the opening credits for the series is absolutely just mind-blowing and weird and fantastic. It's so cool. I never skip it because it's that good. And I also bet that has some meaning and symbolism as well. And I'm saying that this show has a lot of symbolism. I mean, it does. I don't know what it is because I'm not brainy enough. I'm not read enough in books and stuff like that to know exactly what it's trying to tell us. I'm sure there's somebody out there who would be, but that's why I'm saying the show doesn't have that big of a following, and that's a pity because I think there's so much to dive deep into with this series. I don't know where the landing is. I don't know if they stick the landing. I don't know if the ending is good or at all. I don't know this, but all I know so far, 6 episodes in, is the show was one of the best shows I've watched on television in a long time, and it's one of the best shows where I have never felt the urge to pick up my phone to notification. I don't want my phone near me while watching this series. I sit down. I'm basically like this for the hour. I'm just like, what is going on? I'm so intrigued with the world. I'm so engaged with the characters, and it's weird, but it's so good. And there's so much mysteries right now. And I don't know if there's payoff to the mysteries or anything like that. It could be a terrible ending. It could be the worst thing of all time. I think myself and Casey are going to cry if that's the case, because we've pumped this show up to be great, and the show has pumped itself up to be great, but it needs to stick that landing. I don't know if it's going to get season 2 or not. Maybe it will, but it also needs to give us some answers for season 1, because you can't have all these mysteries and then just keep the mysteries going into season 2. You have to have some payoff for what exactly is going on. But the show is it's terrifying at times, I think, and I think it's that's why I think it's the best show on streaming right now.
Absolutely. Rokan, have you seen a show?
Not yet, but hearing your guys' pitch for it does make me want to watch it. I like Adam Scott, and I like kind of like, what you guys have said, is that it's like a modern day Matrix, which whenever I hear modern day Matrix, I'm like, it's impossible. But with everything you guys have kind of like said to me, I'm like, all right, well, I did like Ted Lasso. I didn't want to jump more into the Apple TV show world. So yeah, I mean, I'll definitely check it out. It's soon.
So good, man. Like, I can't even tell you which Apple TV show is the best one, easily, because they're all so good. Like, I love Defending Jacob. I love Foundation. For All Mankind was pretty good. You know, this show is solid. So it's just, it just keeps me watching more and more. Ted Lasso obviously was pretty amazing. I've recently finished that, and I just hate that I finished it because I just binged it all. So yeah, Apple TV's got us, man. It's just quality after quality.
So I also still need to get on the After Party and Physical.
Oh, yeah.
They both look
After
really
Party
good.
was also pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't like it as much as KC.
Dude, I loved
because
it.
it jumps from different genres. and stuff
Exactly,
like
that was so
and the
good.
ending was kind of premature. It was like, oh, okay, that's the ending. Cool, now we're finished.
Yeah,
So,
the
it
the
was
ending
okay.
reveal, I would say, didn't live up to the entire show's hype, or the level of that. But I see what they were going for, because it's about the main character, the lady who's the investigator who's doing all that. So they're coming back.
Haddish.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish. Yeah, so they're doing season 2 with her. So there will be a totally new cast. When I got to know that, then I understood the ending a little better. But yeah, it kind of was predictable and not that much. It's a comedy and it's a parody, so and I loved that. But yeah, enough about that. Severance is amazing. I recommend this to every single person, whether you love, thrillers, mysteries, or you don't. I just think that it's a show for everyone because it keeps you engaged. And Rokan, I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll love it.
I can't wait to watch it.
I think it's one of these shows as well. If you wait to watch, if you're going to binge it, I think there's only a few episodes left. I think there's only like 3 episodes left. I think it's one of those shows. If you want to binge it, you won't be able to stop.
Yeah.
I think after episode 1, you're going to be hooked. You want to finish the one sitting, and yeah. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next one this Friday.
Then that's what I'll do. I think you said there's 3 episodes left, so I'll wait 3 weeks until the whole thing is done, and then I'll watch it.
I think you should actually watch it week to week, because it just,
It's a different experience. Yeah.
I don't know if you would get that same experience
but
if you binge it, because you get the payoff to the cliffhanger right away instead of waiting a week. I don't know. I just like torture like that, I guess. But there's a wall in my house where there are so many holes right now because I keep punching there every time the episode ends.
yeah. And the score is so good.
Yes,
Score just
amazing.
Score reappears. The score's in the opening
Ding, ding,
sequence,
ding, ding.
the title sequence,
It's amazing.
but it reappears throughout the entire episode in numerous scenes. You're like, I thought I'd get like pissed off at this score, but actually no, it's just really good and terrifying, and it fits the office world that they're in.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool score. I'm gonna get on my phone every time someone rings me. I'm gonna have that score playing, because it just kind of intensifies things.
Absolutely. All right. So next up, we have another Apple TV Plus show which recently aired. Its first 3 episodes, and let me begin by saying this was one of the strongest starts to any show I've ever seen in a long time. Because episode 1 was basically like a movie, and it just was so engaging, and the story was so good. The actors are so amazing. Jared Leto obviously is a phenomenal actor. He's so good, and he's so different in this role. He's not that typical Jared Leto role. It's not like that. It's just a normal guy trying. He's an entrepreneur, and he's trying to build this company, and we see his journey and all that. So it's a pretty amazing story, and obviously it's not finished yet, but the start is so strong. The first episode, I said that just after watching the first episode, I was like, I'm absolutely loving this show. It's one of my favorite shows right now, just based on episode 1. And then episode 2 and 3 were pretty good as well.
Can you explain what the premise is? Because I said I would. I haven't watched it yet. Sorry. and I'm the biggest Jared Leto stan in the world. I'm too busy telling everybody what
I hate you,
Morbius
Maher.
coming in a few weeks. I'm trying
You
to. I'm
watched
trying to
Fresh
get
over
everybody-
this?
Look, Fresh was just
Wait,
a movie. This is 3
Let me
hours.
just say, you say you're a big Jared Leto fan, but did you go to a 30 Seconds to Mars concert as your first show?
Oh no!
I didn't think
No,
so.
I didn't walk on. No, I didn't.
Because
But you know
you're
what?
not
I
a
was in the
fan.
trenches. I was in the trenches, right? Blade Runner 2049. I was there opening night. Nobody else was. It was just me.
And me.
And I was there after the Suicide Squad movie in 2016. Yes, there was crowds there, but I was like saying that Jared Leto was the greatest piece of cinema history, comic book movie history ever. This guy is talented. But like, no, I'm too busy right now because I'm a preacher. I'm a preacher for the next 3 weeks. I'm going around to small communities and telling people about this new vampire movie that's coming out, Morbius, starring Jared Leto. I'm like, this movie needs to succeed. You have to go and see Morbius. It's an underlining metaphor for religion and the next coming of Christ. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I've been busy.
Touche.
I haven't watched WeCrashed yet. So.
Speaking of Christ, coming back to Jared Leto, there's a Christ joke in here as well, which I really liked. But yeah, dude, it's just so good. I cannot believe that I just started watching WeCrashed. I loved it right from the first episode because rarely
What's it about?
Rarely do shows have 3 episodes out and you just love it right from the start because they have to reel you into the show. That's why they release multiple episodes, right? But this was right from the start. It was so good. So what's it about? Okay, so Jared Leto his character is an entrepreneur and he's very young. He has a sister who's a supermodel and he's trying to make a name for himself, obviously, because he just has ideas. He has these crazy ideas that I kind of don't want to say right now because they're really impressive when you see them. It adds to the character a lot. So yeah, those ideas are great and you probably didn't even think about them before watching that scene. So there's a whole montage of his ideas and stuff. So yeah, he's like this crazy guy with awesome ideas. He goes to he doesn't have the funding, so he has to go to conventions. He has to go to investors to convince them, speak to them about his ideas, and they have to believe him. He's very charming, so he knows how to convince people, obviously, like how salespeople are, right? The good ones. So he's basically like that guy. He meets Anne Hathaway's character, who is least interested in him at first. And also, by the way, I forgot to mention, Jared Leto's character also has an accent, which he does a wonderful job at here. He's from Israel, so he has that Godzilla accent, which is fantastic. I loved it, and he's doing a pretty good job. So yeah, he meets this character and eventually they fall in love and all that. But yeah, they basically are a pretty good team, and as you can see on the poster here, it's about a love story worth $47 billion. Now I don't know how it's gonna go into the future because every couple fights and this couple is working together, so that's just a disaster waiting to happen. But so far,
are you saying that Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal they're going to
yes,
you think things are going to go bad there?
I hope things go bad after they make the Amazing Spider-Man 3, but yeah. So yeah, it's very inspirational. If you like movies like The Founder or Steve Jobs movie or Bill Gates movie and all that, so if you like those kinds of movies, you love this. Of course, this is not as big as that because it's not Facebook, it's not whatever, but it's still pretty good. The way it's shot, again, Maher, like you said, the cameras used in this, it's like a movie, man. Seriously, it's so good. The first episode itself is like a full movie, and I just loved it. So I literally knew nothing about WeCrashed before putting this on. I just pressed play because it's Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. What else do you need, man? Why did you watch Fresh?
Why did I watch?
You
Fresh?
thought
Because,
it was a porn movie, right? That's why you watched it.
no. I watched Fresh because I thought I seen a clip on TikTok of Sebastian Stan dancing, and I thought this might be a good movie. And WeCrashed is three.
I would have
3 hour
sent you Jared
episodes,
Leto dancing if
1
that's
hour.
what it took.
Yeah, but the
I mean, can you blame him for wanting to watch Fresh after that?
yeah.
I
But
wouldn't
like
blame him.
the WeCrashed is like the first episode I looked
But
at.
Jared
like,
Leto, man.
Yeah, I had I know, man. I understand who Jared Leto is, Casey. I understand.
Do you?
And yeah, I do.
Oh,
What
by
I'm
the way-
saying is I'm prepping for Morbius. I'm
Yeah, by
prepping
the
for
way-
Morbius. Comes out my birthday. So I
Exactly.
have to-
By the way, this is such perfect timing for Morbius because a lot of people are gonna watch this show. They're gonna love him in this, and they're gonna go watch Morbius.
I hope so
Because yeah,
if the
the box office is not tracking to be good.
if the rumors are right that they got rid of all the Spider-Man cameos and Easter eggs and stuff like that, then yeah,
Don't
this
tell
movie could
anyone.
be- This movie
It
could
has
be-
it has Andrew Garfield. Everyone, just
I
go
hope
watch
so.
this movie.
I'm going to go on a rant now. I don't think we need all the cameos and stuff like that or the Easter eggs. The Venom 1 didn't need it, but don't show it in the trailer. Don't show it in the trailer if you're not going to use them in the actual movie. Because the biggest hype around this movie was Michael Keaton, was the Toby art, was LexCorp, Black Cat, Rhino. Sony, you crashed. You crashed.
But you know what WeCrashed did right? They had Jared Leto in the trailer, and he was in the show, and he's awesome in the show.
Yeah,
So watch it.
that's a plus.
Yeah,
It's marketing 101.
absolutely. Rokan, you haven't seen the show either, right?
Not yet, but I do want to just because I love Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway, which it's funny. It's the Joker
Yeah.
and Catwoman in a show
The funny
together.
thing about this is in some scenes he's kind of like Bruce Wayne when he's in, Wayne Enterprises and stuff like that. So that's also another funny thing which I, kind of chuckled at because he kind of is acting like Bruce Wayne here, but he's playing the Joker, and he's also, his girlfriend is also Catwoman. So it's
Maybe you watch Ben. Maybe watch Ben and was kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe I'll copy that for my
It's
show.
it's kind of weird. I don't know about you guys and conspiracies, but there was a Restore the Snyderverse campaign on the same day. Jared Leto had a new show out. Ben Affleck had a new movie out. What are they trying to tell us?
they're all coming back
They've moved
in
on.
WeCrashed.
That they've moved on. They've moved on from the Snyderverse. Joke. Someone's gonna clip that now.
WeCrashed episode 2 and 3 are just Justice League 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah.
There you go.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check this show out. It will make you feel good. It will make you cry. It will make you feel happy. It will make you get behind this amazing characters who are.
If Jared Leto is shirtless, I'm gonna do all of that.
Oh, dude, he's definitely he is. Do you think they're gonna hire Jared Leto to be an actor in the show and not make him go shirtless? No.
Yeah.
Apple TV knows its audience, man.
I mean, they put that. Well, they put that in the Morbius trailer, and Maher already. But then Maher saw that he was kind of
Yep.
like, I'm in.
No, I heard Jared Leto in blood, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by the show. It's pretty good. I am loving it so far. All 3 episodes were pretty good. The stories are amazing. Both of the stories, and the characters are also amazing. So yeah, do check it out. Another Apple TV Plus win. I will be the first one in the world to be disappointed when an Apple TV show will be bad. Because so far they've all been good.
I can't name one. I can't name one bad one
Yeah.
that I've watched.
Yeah. I feel like at some point with all the praise that Casey makes about Apple TV, that Apple and Apple TV, that at some point Tim Cook's just gonna send him a bunch of checks.
I think that's all he wants.
Just for all the
I don't
promo.
even need a check. Just send me all the episodes early on.
I really want they give out like a Severance box for
Yes.
influencers and stuff like that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I kind of want I want one of those.
Yeah. Well,
Just give me an AFC Richmond,
Oh, yeah, dude.
Richmond soccer jersey, and I'm good.
absolutely. Or the Believe poster. I will just hang it on top of my door.
Even better.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Netflix. Sorry, Apple TV, but we have other streaming services to talk about as well. And yeah, The Adam Project, starring Ryan Reynolds, and I'm so sorry I'm forgetting the name of the kid who was phenomenal in this movie as young Ryan Reynolds, but
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Garner.
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana too, yeah. So the only
Giardello.
no, he's not in it.
Oh, okay.
He's not in it because
Sure,
you've not watched it.
I'm sure I saw him somewhere. I could have had my. Yeah, I don't know. Giardello and everything is just better, so he should be in every project. So.
Yep. But yeah, this movie is awesome. I really liked it. I thought the action was pretty good. The visual effects were pretty amazing. The character drama between, Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo, Ryan Reynolds and Jennifer Garner, those scenes were so amazing. And the acting of the kid, as young Ryan Reynolds, I'm not talking about the character, I'm talking about young Ryan Reynolds. It's pretty amazing. He does a spot on impression of Ryan. So
Yeah.
that was also pretty good to watch. So on top of
If
that,
they ever do a kid Deadpool, I don't know if there is a kid Deadpool in the comics. That kid should be brought in.
Absolutely.
He was,
and yeah,
so
it's directed by Shawn Levy, who also made Free Guy and
Night at the Museum, Internship,
Real Steel. He made
Real
Real
Steel.
Steel. Yeah,
Real
that
Steel,
was
yeah.
a pretty amazing movie.
Cheaper by the
By the
dozen.
dozen. See, he's really good at family-friendly movies
Yeah.
that do really well. We'll get on to Deadpool 3, where I have some concerns there about that. But he does really good at these family movies, and I think he's one of the most safest PG-13 family-friendly movie directors out there, big time, because he's always able to hit well with audiences.
Yeah. These type of movies where you have a family and something sci-fi going on. He's the guy for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, he perfectly put about him, Maher. He's definitely that guy. But yeah, this movie was pretty good to watch. I would say that if this movie came out in theaters, I don't know if this would be well received because of the limitations it had in the third act and stuff like that. But from a character perspective, I say that it's pretty good. And from a visual effects and how the production quality was, I thought it was pretty top tier for a Netflix film. And I think it's one of the better Netflix films out there. So for me, it's definitely, a good movie. I think it was not one of the best, I would say, but just because it kind of was limiting in scope, since it involves space, time travel, and all that,
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting more. But because even the production value was so good, so I was kind of hoping for more. You know how Tomorrow War was? That was kind of a bigger scale movie, but that wasn't a better movie than this. So,
I can only probably bet they shot this movie pretty quickly because they're not there's nothing major in terms of massive visual effects, spectacle.
there's no
like
huge
that.
third act battle.
Yeah, and for a Netflix movie that has probably unlimited budget, I was expecting a much larger space movie, but it was actually much contained and grounded in a way because
Yeah.
it didn't offer it didn't give us much background to what happens in the future or this new technology they're using or stuff like that. It just kind of gave us what it gave us and just went with the story. And what the movie was about the relationship between Ryan Reynolds, his younger self, because it's time travel, and also their dad and the relationship between their dad and what happened with him and stuff like that. So it was actually just about relationships more than sci-fi. That was all secondary background stuff.
Yeah, and the relationships between, these dads and sons is generational here, and that was pretty amazing to watch. I think it's kind of unique in that sense, and for that alone, I would say that you should definitely watch it because between this and the Tender Bar, which was Ben Affleck's movie, I thought that these pretty much nailed that, dynamic. So, yeah, that's what I thought. What did you think of it, Maher?
Yeah, just basically what I said. I thought it was a good watch. It's not like a fantastic, oh my god, brilliant movie. It's a solid watch. It's really well made. The performances are fantastic, very funny, some good action, some good spectacle, sci-fi type stuff, CGI.
Superhero
that was a
landing.
good time. Superhero. I didn't like that scene because it's too much on the nose for me in Deadpool when he's still Deadpool. But yeah, Shawn Levy. I grew up watching that guy's movies, Night at the Museum and movies like that, and I loved how he brought Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson back together for the internship. It's not the best comedy movie,
he
but
did
I get
that?
a kick out of it. Yeah,
Nice.
I even watched
I like that
the
movie.
director's commentary of that as well. It's actually pretty funny. I think Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn did it as well. It's actually a good watch. Them three watching the movie and doing a commentary on it, so that was good. So he has all these movies, PG-13 style movies, and he's kind of gained this relationship with Ryan Reynolds now from Free Guy to the Adam Project, going into Deadpool 3. So there's obviously a good thing going there. I just wonder what he can do when shifting the tones from PG-13, family friendly, to R rating, when that's what Deadpool should and has to be for me going forward. And at a standalone capacity, it can be PG-13 if he's in other movies, of course. But yeah, this one was a good watch. Mark Ruffalo was good as well. Jennifer Garner, kind of a reunion there as well. Don't know if you've seen it, Rokon 13 going on 30. That's a movie I watched a good bit.
Yeah, I grew up on that movie, man.
That was a good one. That was a good one. It's like basically, Jennifer Garner's character. She's 13. She's having her birthday party or something like that. She makes a wish that she wishes she was 30 and 30, 30 and 30, 30 and 30. She reads like a thing out of a magazine. Then she wakes up. She's 30, and her crush, Mark Ruffalo, she's trying to like a relationship starts there. It's like a romantic movie, and that was a good one. So a reunion here in this one. And Ryan Reynolds is hilarious as always. The kid was hilarious. I laughed out loud several times, and that's probably why I enjoyed the movie so much. And So Saldana was she was in the movie not that much, but there was an emotional presence with her character because she's a love interest for Reynolds, and then something happens because it's time travel and things get upset and stuff like that. There's actually this attachment between those characters because of what happens. That's very emotional, and then it comes back around by the end of the movie. And also Mark Ruffalo and his sons, Ryan Reynolds and the kid, there was an emotional scene there that actually hit very hard. So I think that was well written, well performed and executed. So this is a really good Netflix movie. Much smaller in scale than I was expecting, but do you know what? I didn't mind because the characters were written well and the story was pretty emotional, so I didn't really need the explanation about the science or anything like that, or about the futuristic world that they were trying to show us or whatever. I actually didn't really care because the characters were so likable. So
yeah, I agree. Rokan, have you seen the movie?
Not yet. I do want to watch it just because I like the team behind it. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, so this looks like a more family-friendly version of Looper, basically.
Yeah,
so
you can say that, but it's not as sci-fi. It's more character-focused.
And that's fair. And that's fair. I just kind of gave the Looper connection with the younger version, older version like that. So yeah, I mean, I'll definitely check it out very very soon. So it's funny you mentioned 13 going on 30, or I still look at it as the Hulk and Elektra.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely check out Am Project hopefully soon. I've been watching a lot of the Oscar nominated movies right now to get ready, but I think I definitely will watch Adam Project.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'd give it a thumbs up. It's definitely one to watch probably
Yeah.
with a family, friends, something like that. I think it's a good time, really enjoyable, very funny as well. So yeah, it's definitely one of Netflix's better original movies because their movies are very hit and miss.
Yeah.
Their series are usually awesome, but this I actually wouldn't be surprised if this came out in theaters. I think actually it would probably do respectively well in theaters because of the cast. To be honest with you, it doesn't feel like a theatrical movie sometimes because of just not the third act would probably let it down if it was a theatrical movie, but because it's on streaming, people probably overlook that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we have attached to that, we have the next topic, which is Shawn Levy to direct Deadpool 3. And
Touching myself tonight.
yeah,
That's a Deadpool quote.
This-
That's a Deadpool quote.
yeah,
It might be.
yeah,
Who knows?
of course. Of course you said that because of the Deadpool quote. But anyway,
Jared Leto. What?
But anyway, the director is in negotiations to team up with star Ryan Reynolds for the Marvel property after previously collaborating on 20th Century's pandemic era hit Free Guy, which was awesome, and the just released sci-fi adventure movie The Adam Project on Netflix, which is also pretty good. Frequent Reynolds collaborators Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who penned the scripts for the first two films, are now working on Deadpool 3, which is a good sign. The Deadpool films are the top grossing X-Men films of all time, with the original earning $783.1 million and a sequel bringing in $785.8 million at the worldwide box office. Which I was kind of surprised to learn that none of the X-Men movies beat these two.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
This is a surprise.
Yeah. This will be Deadpool's...
That's shocking to me.
Yeah, right? This will be Deadpool's... this will be the first Deadpool film following Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, which released the first two installments. There was a concern at the time that Marvel might not continue the R-rated franchise, considering Disney's long-standing reputation for family-friendly fare. However, ex-CEO Bob Iger, thank you, sir, assuaged those fears by saying Deadpool could remain R-rated. So that's pretty good news, isn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, Shawn
the
Levy is
biggest thing-
directing now.
The biggest thing is the writers for me. That's important.
Yes, absolutely. The writers are on board, and Shawn Levy has proven multiple times that he's, a really good director, especially making movies that most of the audience likes. And that's what, the MCU is. That's what Marvel wants. That's what Kevin Feige wants. So I think it's a pretty good fit. More importantly, I think... Look, if you asked me, I would have preferred Tim Miller because I just loved the first Deadpool movie, and I think they created magic over there. The second movie was pretty good as well, but I liked the first more. But Deadpool 3 is being done by Shawn Levy, so I'm kind of also looking forward to how different this is going to be compared to the first two. But the more important thing to Ryan Reynolds, I think, is his mentality and vision for this character be matching with some director. So I guess these two look eye to eye on Deadpool, and that's why Ryan Reynolds said, yes, I'm going to definitely work on Deadpool with him. And to me, that says that this movie is in good hands, because obviously Ryan Reynolds is the one running the franchise, and he has to pick the one who is a great director as well as who is a great collaborator. And I think he found the director that he wanted, and that's a good thing. The writers coming back is also a pretty good thing. It's also a good thing that Shawn Levy is a total fan, and he said that he would probably bring back Hugh Jackman into this movie, probably as Wolverine. And he said he's definitely going to make that happen. He actually gave a promise that he'd somehow make that happen. So that's a pretty big thing to say with Kevin Feige involved and all of that stuff. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Well, yeah, Hugh Jackman did appear in Free Guy, which was good.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I think he was at the premiere for the Adam Project, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
Yeah, and he worked with, and he did do Real
Yeah.
Slow with Shawn Levy.
oh yeah, I love that movie. That's a good one actually. I need to rewatch that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, well, look, I love the first two Deadpool movies. Seen the first one opening night, and it was packed. Everyone just had such a good time. It was fantastic. I think I went to a midnight showing of it. It's just people were so excited to watch this
Deadpool
movie.
1's marketing is one of the best ever.
Yeah, it was great. I think it came out Valentine's Day
Yeah.
around that time.
Valentine's Day, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I would actually say I prefer Deadpool 2. If you had asked me for my top 10 comic book movies of all time before Eternals and Zack Snyder's Justice League, I would have probably had Deadpool 2 in there. I love that movie so much. I think the rewatch value was insane.
Yeah.
The pacing is so good. You got Josh Brolin there as Cable. You got the cameos. It's a cool, awesome.
Oh, dude, I
movie.
love the X-Men cameo in that.
It's so cool. It's brilliant. It's fun. I love how they got them all there and they're all dressed up as well. And yeah, that was brilliant. I love that.
It's clear off the set of Dark Phoenix though. Like
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
like they are in their Dark Phoenix get up and they just shot that on set.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I
Isn't
love
it good when that
And,
happens?
Yeah. When they actually, like, it doesn't take that much, does it?
Yep.
You know, that was only a 2-second shot, and it was funny. But like, you also have what's the character's name that was in the Wolverine? But then she's different in Deadpool 2.
Sabertooth?
No,
Yukio or something like that.
yeah,
Yukio.
yeah. I love that with the X-Men universe. Like, that character was in the Wolverine, badass, working with Wolverine and stuff like that. Could tell the future. Now she's here as a love interest for super whatever you call that other character.
Negasonic
Yeah.
Teenage Warhead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coolest
that's the-
name ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's the same character, but it's different actors, different interpretations of the.
Oh, I didn't
character,
know that.
Which is So like, I love stuff like that from the Fox menu.
Yeah.
I love how
They don't care about canon at all.
no, at all, and it
Nope.
works. I love how what's it called from Logan, and he's also in Apocalypse. The bald guy,
Caliban.
I love how that's the same character as well. I love stuff
Yeah.
like that from the Fox universe, big time. Nightcrawler is different, all that kind of stuff. That's cool. But yeah, I love Deadpool 2. I really do. And I'm kind of disappointed that the director for Deadpool 2 isn't coming back. What's his name?
Ruben Fleischer
David
did that,
Leitch.
right?
No,
David-
David
David
Leitch,
did
yeah.
that, Okay.
Yeah, David Leitch. But like, it's cool because different director for the first one, different director
Yeah.
for the second one, and there were still good movies, still hits, very different kind of visions as well. And it looks like Ryan Reynolds, of course, his stamp is always on the movie. So I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3, but for me, it has to be R-rated. It really does.
Yeah.
I don't mind Deadpool showing up in the MCU as a PG-13 character. You can have a lot of fun with that, big time. But I just think for them to go for PG-13 for the third one, I just think it would take a lot away from the character. I really do. And I just think Deadpool is kind of cemented as this R-rated, raunchy character right now. And it would be a shame to just kind of take that back. You know, it would be kind of like Wonder Woman 84. What we got to see compared to Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a complete, de-weaponizing of the character. And so Shawn Levy, I really like him as a director. I just want him to do it R-rated. That's all. And I'm sure, like, he hasn't really done much R-rated movies before, but I'm sure under the guidance of Reynolds. And I think it's not like he can do comedy, and that's the most important thing. All he has to do is add in the R-rated
And good
so
characters.
he can do comedy. Yeah. So yeah, and so I don't have a problem.
He
with
made
him.
me care
You know,
about
just want
two
him to be
robots fighting in a ring.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But so this movie is moving along pretty fast, and we'll have to see how it develops, what the casting will be like, if Hugh Jackman shows up, if other X-Men members will show up, because that'd be cool, because we talk about multiverses and stuff like that because of the Flash, because of the portals with Spider-Man No Way Home, but Deadpool's the type of character that can have any character from any universe, from any franchise, from any studio pop up, and it would make sense.
The first Deadpool had a Green Lantern photo. The second one had a Green Lantern script.
Harry Potter could show up, and it would be funny. You know, it would be hilarious. So, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of cameos in Deadpool 2. I would love to see Cable return. I thought Josh Brolin was fantastic in that one. I thought there was really good chemistry between those, and like I
Domino
think was fantastic. It's so
she
funny.
was also good.
It's so funny. Domino was brilliant as he beats. I thought the movie was just hilarious to me. I couldn't stop laughing. But it was very different from the first one, and I think the rewatch value is
That
better with the
that's
second one than
kind
the first
of
one.
that's kind of what I'm expecting now. The third movie to be completely different as well, because although I like the first movie, I kind of see it as a smaller movie and a second movie, to be the bigger one. I see that the first one is kind of like an indie movie and the second one is like a blockbuster. But
Yeah,
I feel, more attachment to the first one because it was so raw and contained, gritty and all that. But the second one was totally bonkers, and I love both movies. But I will be, excited to see where they take the third one because the bar is really high. Like mentioned here in the article itself, these two are the top highest grossing in the X-Men franchise, the franchise that started the comic book revolution since 2000. The gritty comic book movies. 2000. And Deadpool 1 and 2 are the highest grossing. It kind of surprised me when I read that.
yeah, that's awesome. But Colossus is a funny character as well.
Yeah.
You also have what's Vinnie Jones's character from X-Men 3?
The Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut, different actor again, different.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Reynolds actually did the voice for Juggernaut in Deadpool 2, but that was that's cool. I think Juggernaut in the comics was actually the son of Charles Xavier. Is that right?
No, he's his stepbrother.
Brother, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Which
There's a lot,
which is funny because in X-Men First Class they reference Charles Xavier's stepfather, like when they're going to the Bucky says, "Oh yeah, my stepfather made this," and Matthew Vaughn had said that when he was on board to direct Days of Future Past, the original scene of Magneto being broken out was going to be by Juggernaut, wasn't going to be by Quicksilver.
Oh.
And because Matthew Vaughn's a giant Juggernaut fan, so they wanted to use the Juggernaut for a long time.
Yeah, I love how the continuity is just nowhere to be seen, but it's fun.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. And I really liked X-Men Apocalypse. I liked Dark Phoenix. I thought it was okay. I liked New
loved them all.
Mutants. Yeah.
I love them all.
Yeah. There's only two X-Men movies I really don't like. Everything else I have a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually watching X. I don't know if it come up for you, Rokan, but the Firestarter trailer with Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah.
Screening. That feels like a Fox X-Men universe movie.
Yep.
It's like about this girl who has powers and she's being hunted and stuff like that, and she can't control them when Zac Efron's with her. It feels like an X-Men movie. So for me, in my head, that's canon to the X-Men Fox universe.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this movie, especially now because look, everything lines up perfectly. Just get Hugh Jackman in there, get Mark Ruffalo's Hulk in there because you can't make solo Hulk movies. So just get him in there, What else can you do?
Yeah.
There's no Avengers movies.
We could have Jared Leto in it. That could help.
Yeah, sure. Why
nobody
not?
Nobody wants Jared Leto.
Yeah, but I'd be down. I'd be down.
Yeah, me too.
I would be too. Let's do it.
All right, so let's move on to.
Oh, I forgot to mention something to Maher real quick. So I know you said that you were worried about Shawn Levy doing because he does family and friendly movie stuff, but he's done R-rated films before. Actually,
Which one?
He did. He did. This Is Where I Leave You, which if you haven't seen watch it.
Jason
it is
Bateman in that?
Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, and Timothy Olyphant and
Oh.
Adam Driver.
I think have I seen that one? Oh, does Adam Driver his character? Does he have an older woman or what's his character like in that?
He's like the younger brother of the family, and he's dating Connie Britton.
Yeah.
And Jason Bateman is like childhood crush is like Rose Byrne in that movie.
I have seen that.
Jane Fonda is the matriarch.
I didn't know he directed that.
Yeah, Shawn Levy directed it, so he has done R-rated movies like that, and he also did a Date Night, which is pretty much an R-rated movie just with one, just if it got one more F-bomb. So he's done his share of more adult-driven stuff. It's just he doesn't do it much.
That's a good movie. This Is Where I Leave You. That was called, yeah.
Yeah, That's Where I Leave You. Yeah. Have you seen it, Casey?
But the cast sounds, interesting.
Cast is insane.
Watch it. It's hilarious.
I will.
Man.
That's so funny.
All right, so let's move on to MCU now, with Miss Marvel. A new trailer finally came out.
Blinded by the lights. Blinded by the lights.
Yeah, everybody's singing the song. Look,
It's
I
a
was
good
not
song.
gonna
Yeah.
watch this movie, this show. I was gonna skip it, but this trailer kind of got me interested. I thought it looked fresh, not like the fresh that Maher skipped WeCrashed for. Um, but pretty good. It feels kind of new. It also feels not my demographic usually because I hate watching teen drama stuff. But this one seems interesting, and I know nothing about the character, and I could care less about the power change or whatever, which people are complaining about. I don't give a fuck about that. I think stretch powers are stupid unless it's just Mr. Fantastic. I think everyone else is just stupid. I don't like that power at all. But yes, it kind of is like Green Lantern power, but who cares? It looks cool. Um, and it also is consistent kind of with Captain Marvel and all that. So from the trailer, it seems like this is kind of like the Shazam character. He's a fan of Superman and all that. She's a fan of Captain Marvel, and we're gonna see her story in this. So she'll be also in the sequel, The Marvels, I think. So that's also pretty good. So yeah, not terribly excited, but I might give it a watch and see if it's good for me to continue.
Yeah, it'll be something to have on the background while I construct my Obi WAN review, because they are overlapping. They are overlapping. you know. So look, this isn't a show for me because it's not. But I'll check it out because I'm a comic book movie fan, show fan. Look, the trailer.
I
was pretty
skipped
good, I thought,
Hawkeye.
and
Never gone back.
yeah. Well,
But this
maybe you
trailer
should have.
kind
Yeah,
of nah.
yeah. No. Maybe you should have. You skipped it, yeah, because it wasn't fantastic.
Yeah.
But look, Miss Marvel, I hate Captain Marvel. I
Yep.
don't like the character. Hate the movie. But I did like Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, and she's going to be in the next one. Yeah, isn't it?
Yep.
Captain Marvel 2. She's going. Yeah.
No, the Marvels.
The Marvels. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, the Marvels. I had to get rid of Captain Marvel's
Yeah.
name from it because it only made $1 billion. Could have made $2 billion if it wasn't called Captain Marvel. But no, I think the show, it looks fun. I've said that about Marvel a lot, but also had a nice tone to it. And I thought the music was a good choice.
I think they kind of cheated with that music.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have watched this show if they didn't have that music.
Yeah. It's a good choice, but I'm interested. I don't know anything about the character. I know they changed the powers. Couldn't care a toss. I don't care about the power change. Don't read the comics. Don't care. And average audiences won't care either. Nobody would care.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to learn about this character I never heard of before. What kind of power she has, where she comes from, and she idolizes superheroes. And I started watching the CW show Naomi, where that character idolizes Superman, and I had to stop watching it because it was so bad. But
What gave it away, Shawn? What gave it away?
Non-existent, unlikable characters, just terrible. It was terrible. And
Didn't you see the title of it? It was called CW's Naomi.
Yeah. Superman and Lois, they got me in the first half, not gonna lie. Because that night Superman and Lois was on first and Naomi was on second. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Yeah, forget about it. But yeah, it feels like this is what that should have been in terms of everything. But it's some awesome. Looks like there's a lot of visual effects in it. Bigger visual effects than say Hawkeye had, which was more grounded and stuff like that. So So look, I'll give it a shot. Of course, I'll watch it. I'll watch it after Obi WAN. I don't know if I'm going to watch it straight away after Obi WAN, but I'll watch it at some stage after Obi WAN. Probably have to watch Obi WAN a few more times first before I watch Miss Marvel. So yeah, no, I think the actress looks like she's having a lot of fun as well. She looks like she has a good screen presence. The trailer had a good tone to it. So yeah, I'll check it out, of course, just to review it and talk about it with you guys. But other than that, I wasn't excited for it, but the trailer got me a little bit interested.
It also is kind of like a comic book because there's speech bubbles and stuff like that popping up on the screen. And it's cute, I guess, and children probably will like it. It's kind of like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid or something like that. So it has a different style to it from the other MCU stuff, which I know Phase 4 has been doing a lot, and that's pretty good. So yeah, I might check it out. But a little fun fact, episode 1 and the finale are directed by two directors, Bilal and Adil Al-Arbi, who are doing the Batgirl movie. So I know that the first episode is going to be good.
Look, that's probably going to be their peak in the comic book genre.
Yeah.
They're not going to make they can't make the best Batman centric movie with a 7-year-old Batman and a female, can they? That's what the internet says. We'll have to stay tuned.
Yeah. Rokan, what did you think?
No, these guys, just before I said that, the Bad Boys for Life was fantastic, so I can't wait to see these guys tackle Marvel and DC, and that's awesome. Like James Gunn did.
Yeah. And the fact that they did this show and then brought the same production team to Batgirl. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Rokan, what do you think? Are you upset about the power change? Are you ranting on the internet?
I don't give a shit about the power change. I don't. I mean, it's like, what you say stretching powers are lame, so that reminds me to not watch The Incredibles.
No, I mean The Incredibles was pretty good. Sorry to them, but yeah, in live action.
No, but I mean, fair enough in live action. Yeah. So I mean, look, I'm not attached to the Miss Marvel comic books like I know a few people are. So I like I said, I could care less about the stretch of powers. I'm just judging from what I've seen with the show, with what I've seen from the trailer, and I'm gonna be the complete opposite with you guys. I think it looks cheap.
It does kind of look cheap compared to the other Marvel shows, definitely.
It does. I mean, it feels like when you look at the Marvel shows, you can tell they spent so much of their money on, making sure Falcon Winter Soldier looks cinematic, Hawkeye looks cinematic, Moon Knight looks cinematic, and this straight up looks like an ABC Family TV show. It looks like one of those shows that you'd watch with Pretty Little Lies or one of those.
Or CW.
Shows. So. Which, I mean, in fairness, I get it. That's supposed to be for that demographic. And, I can see 14, 15-year-old girls really digging it. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. So if they dig it, that's awesome. For me, I just look at it. I'm kind of like, it looks cheap. It looks like they're trying to do a Spider-Man Homecoming, quirky high school type of vibe to it. So I'll still watch it just because I'm curious to see how this connects with the Marvels and whatnot. So I'll check it out just out of curiosity, but I'm not hyped for it in the same way I am for Moon Knight.
Oh really, Moon Knight? That top tier show that looks like on par with Daredevil?
Hey, a little bit of Oscar Isaac is what puts it over the line for me. Okay,
but it's still we can talk about it looks cheap and stuff. The MCU is taking. It feels like it's taking more risks than what it's doing. It's offering stuff like Eternal, like Shang-Chi, like Black Widow, like we've seen WandaVision. There's different kinds of show out there. There's different shows for people. Like Moon Knight, as you said, looks kind of dark and gritty and stuff like that. Miss Marvel looks like it's more for younger audiences and stuff like that, which is awesome. That's cool.
If you showed me this trailer without telling me that it was for Miss Marvel and I wasn't, following the production or the cast or anything, I could not have told you that this is a Marvel show at all.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And I like how they're being different.
Yeah,
it might still have the generic MCU jokes and stuff like that, but look, that's okay because. For me, this show will probably bring in a different demographic, maybe more females to comic book movies, and that's good as well because if you're a teenager,
not everything has to be made for us.
Exactly, but the thing is, it comes back to us because we're going to check out Miss Marvel, of course.
Yeah.
We'll go into it and we'll watch it. We might not be pleased by it or be amazed by it. We'll check it out. But the people who maybe aren't big Batman fans or Spider-Man fans or Moon Knight fans will check out Miss Marvel and they'll like the show because maybe they can relate to it or it's fun or they find something interesting about it. And then they're like, oh, Miss Marvel was pretty cool. What's the next comic book movie or show that's coming out? And they go and they check out Thor, Love and Thunder or whatever's coming out next. And that helps the genre even more because then they're checking out the next thing. Oh, where's Miss Marvel showing up next? She's showing up in the Marvels. Oh, cool. I can't wait to watch that movie. So
cannot wait for her to replace Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Kill Captain Marvel off in the next movie. I'd rather see Samuel L. Jackson as Captain Marvel than Brie Larson. But look,
that's a pretty drastic change on all levels.
Yeah, yeah. But no, Brie Larson's a fantastic actor. I just don't like the way the character's written.
Yeah.
But I am intrigued because new directors are coming in for the sequel, so I do have hopes that it can be good. So we'll see. But it's good. I'll check out the show. It's for a different demographic. And if you remember, the Captain Marvel when it came out, a lot of families were going to see it in terms of mothers and daughters and stuff like that. That's okay. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, like my thing has always just been different strokes for different folks. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, as long as you're happy about it, you're not hurting anybody while doing it. That's the bottom line. So.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I think the first Captain Marvel did hurt a few people, but I think.
Yeah.
Well, just I'll give you a hug right now, Maher. There you go. It can't hurt you anymore.
I'd rather my money back, but it's okay.
The only good thing about that movie, I would say, was Agent Coulson. I love seeing him. So yeah.
Well, and also the fact that also Captain Marvel wears a Nine Inch Nails shirt at one point, and that's a positive.
True.
Actually, I don't remember much. Yeah. I remember her screaming in that movie at the green guy. That's all I remember.
And also, another fact about this show is that she is a Pakistani character and Pakistani actress, and she's also a Muslim character. So this is the first time Marvel is doing it, and it's pretty big for that community as well. So.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too with the actors in Moon Knight and with this and me being half Middle Eastern, that it's extremely comforting to see more of those actors, especially in something as large as a Marvel project, and they're the heroes. They're not like the side characters or the bad guys. They're helping save the day.
Yeah.
And Marvel was the first one to get to it out of all the others, as usual.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I'll be checking it out. I don't know what to expect, so that's a good thing. I also my expectations are also pretty low, so that's also a good thing. It can only impress me. So I hope that's the case. But moving on to Obi WAN, which we'll be more excited for, and which Maher will be watching while.
Duel of the Fates.
Dude.
Oh my god, it was cool.
This trailer was.
Battle of the Heroes also.
This trailer was everything, man. Like, when it started, I kind of didn't know what to expect, obviously, and then it started with similar locations from The Mandalorian, similar sets, and I was like, okay, so is this just going to be another Boba Fett type show? But then it went into Duel of the Fates. It went into different kind of sets. There was this, I don't know what the place is called. It's full of neon and all that stuff. I'm sure Rogan probably knows more about that. But it looks so different. And obviously Obi-Wan is not a side character that they're doing a show for. He's a legacy character. Was from the first movie, and he was in the prequels, the same actor, and he's coming back. Hayden Christensen is coming back as Vader, and this show looks pretty good, man. The music definitely got everyone hyped. as it should, and it's just a teaser trailer, so I kind of was like, I need to see more. But the thing that they showed here, it was pretty good. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I loved it.
This trailer didn't have like a
Hey, no
money
man.
shot. It didn't have Vader step out with like a breather.
That's probably gonna be in the
And the light-
trailer.
Yeah, and then the lightsaber comes out or something like that. You know, they didn't have that, or didn't have Obi-Wan like jumping and doing a backflip, saying "Hello there." No, it didn't have anything like that. It didn't have the money shot. But what it did have,
General
it had this
Kenobi.
energy. It had this energy to it. It had this great energy to it, and the Duel of the Fates playing. Oh my God, one of the greatest scores ever. I love that so much. But like, you look at the prequels and people hate it enough. I don't like. I like the prequels. I like the second and third one more. But Obi-Wan, my favorite character in Star Wars.
Oh,
Probably because of Ewan McGregor. I love Ewan McGregor in anything. I don't think he's got the kind of the justice in terms of box office revenue that he probably deserves because he's such a good actor.
yeah.
But he is fantastic, and him coming back is my dream. Ever since The Force Awakens came out in 2015, and I was going to the midnight showing on a Wednesday or something like that. And a few days before that, I watched the Star Wars movies for the first time properly. Of course, I've seen bits here and there and stuff like that, but I watched them from start to finish in order. And yeah, of course, the original movies are, of course, better, but I preferred seeing Anakin Skywalker, seeing Obi-Wan, that dynamic there, the war, stuff like that. I preferred seeing those characters. And my dream has been to see Obi-Wan come back for a movie because I love the character so much. And so him coming back now for his own series is fantastic, and I can't wait to see this. And it's going to be following him on Tatooine. No surprise there. It seems like there's no other planet. It's amazing how we're in the galaxy and we only see like a few planets every single movie or series. Tatooine, one of them. But look, the trailer had a great energy to it. It didn't rely on just Obi-Wan money shots. It had some other things to it as well. And I'm intrigued to see what happens in this series. It's going to be fantastic, I hope. I hope it's the best thing that they've done in the Disney era of Star Wars, because they have to get this right for me. This is bringing back one of the OG characters. Like, forget about Ewan McGregor, but the character itself from the original movies is coming back. I know Han Solo didn't do that well. I like the movie, but I'm just excited for this one. I really, really am, to see what happens. To see Anakin Hayden Christensen come back, that's pretty cool too. That guy gets a lot of hate for his performances in those movies.
Oh,
But you know
it's
what?
going to be his redemption, like Andrew
Yeah,
Garfield
but as
got
somebody-
his.
Yeah, exactly. But like since 2015, when I watched those movies, I didn't think, wow, he's such a bad actor. I didn't think that whatsoever.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
just watched them for what they were, and I thought he was fine. And I think it's going to be interesting to see him come back.
I think
And I
it's
wanna
just that
see-
people kind of hoped for Vader to be something, and then he wasn't kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want to see an awesome fight sequence between Obi-Wan and
Oh,
Darth
yeah.
Vader. I don't know about the continuity and stuff like that, whatever. I don't really care. Show me a badass fight sequence between those two, and let's see where it goes. We have a young Luke Skywalker, probably have a young Leia there as well. That's nice. That's cool. But Obi-Wan with a beard, and somebody's hunting them down. Let's go.
Absolutely. Rokan,
Okay. So
take the
When-
stage.
yeah,
I don't like this.
Spotlight, baby, spotlight. Okay, so when Disney had announced the whole, like set of doing Star Wars movies, I had always wanted to see an Obi-Wan in between movie, because you have about 10 or 15 years between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, where you see how he goes from the calm and collected Jedi Master in Revenge of the Sith to the crazy, old hermit that you see in A New Hope.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to see that story for so long. And for years, Ewan McGregor was always getting asked by it. He'd be like, look, I'd love to come back. He's like, they just haven't asked me, like, every single time. And so when it was announced to be a reality, I could not be more elated, because I'm with Maher on that. Like, as much as I love Al Guinness in the original films, the only like Obi-Wan to me, the definitive Obi-Wan is always going to be Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
He has that perfect mix of wisdom and badassery.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the fact that they're doing it now, Ewan McGregor, first off, is at the right age to do this version of Obi-Wan. They don't have to age him up with makeup anymore. Like he literally looks that way. So I'm excited to see him come back as Obi-Wan, and Hayden as Anakin, as Vader. I mean, I didn't think he was god awful, but I do think he was the weakest actor compared to everybody else. Granted, it's George Lucas writing and direction, so it literally takes a miracle of an actor to make that work. Case boy with Ewan McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't hate him too much, but seeing this trailer and hearing Duel of the Fates and feeling the tone, and also seeing Rupert Friend as the Inquisitor, which he's gonna be the bad guy in Rebel Moon. So everything that I've seen about this, I do think it will be. I could see this be on the levels of Mandalorian good, maybe even better.
I think it will be better.
Because they have Deborah Chow's directing every episode, so you will have one consistent voice and tone throughout the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most, because she's directing it.
Yeah,
her episodes were really good. I'm
excited.
And I could see the series not depending on nostalgia like the Book of Boba Fett. I hope that
the timeline difference is also pretty telling.
Yeah. So I just want Obi-Wan, I want Darth Vader, and I don't need to see any major cameos appear or something like that. I just want to see a good story. And if it serves the story, having someone pop up, okay, cool. But I'm here for Obi-Wan and for Darth Vader, and for this relationship to be explored even more.
Yeah. And if you notice in the trailer, like, it looks like Luke is just going to be kind of like just, in it here and there, but it's not like they're going to put him on the front lines like they would with Obi-Wan and maybe even Owen.
Yeah. They don't need to, so.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, and yeah. Let's move on to the next topic, which is The Boys. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've all been waiting so long for this trailer to come out, and they just dropped an image which shows, that Billy Butcher finally has powers, and everyone was like, "What?" And then this trailer dropped, and everyone was like, "What?" So, look. I enjoy The Boys a lot. The first season was amazing. The second was also pretty good. All the characters are awesome. The writing is awesome. The story, the powers, the characters, all of it. I just love it all. And I really, really was looking forward to season 3. It kind of sucks that they took so long, but finally it's here, and it's almost here, so I'm excited to see it. The trailer was pretty good. It wasn't a story trailer or anything. It was kind of like a teaser trailer, so there was just music and clips playing, but that's enough for me to say that it looks awesome, and this season is always as always going to be pretty awesome. Homelander looks as amazing as usual. Starlight, Huey, Billy Butcher. I'm very intrigued by the powers that they are getting, to see how that plays out. And apparently in the comics, there's a big spoiler or twist with Black Noir, and I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know what that is, but I'm curious to see what that is. Rokan, you smiled. I think
let me tell you, Jared Leto is actually underneath that helmet. And he will make an appearance in this season.
You're just trying to cover up the fact that you haven't seen WeCrashed. Stop it.
No,
you failed.
No, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you now. There's bigger things on the way with Jared Leto. Just don't quote me on that, but I don't know. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. The Boys season 3. Just watch out.
All right. What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, no, it wasn't really a trailer. It was just like a montage of scenes put together with some music. It didn't get me pumped. It didn't get me really that excited for that. Of course, I'm looking forward to it, but it didn't get me like, oh, cannot wait for whatever that's coming out. I don't know how I feel about them getting powers, because okay, in the comics they probably got powers and stuff, and we'll find out why and how it affects them and stuff. But it just reminds me too much of like the Injustice games where you have Joker fighting Superman or something like that. Because Joker takes something to help him fight Superman or something like that. Like everybody needs to have a superpower. No, they don't. That's what makes some characters really cool that they don't have superpowers. And what I thought some of the strong points for season 1 and 2 of The Boys is you had the group being very careful how they approach the 6 or the 7 of the what did they call the Justice League team?
The 7.
The 7, yeah.
7. They were very careful in their approach because in a second they would have been killed.
Yeah.
They would have been wiped out. Homelander would have just had to look at them and they would be dead. So they had to be very careful. They had to plan out everything very perfectly for it to work. And that's what made the show so appealing for me, because you had these ordinary guys versus the Justice League. How was this going to work? And now that element, I don't know if it's going to be gone for this season, but it takes away a little bit from it as well. And like the Flash show, everybody seems to have the Flash speed. Look at the Superman Lois, the Kryptonite. Everybody seems to be able to get Kryptonian powers. So I don't know how I feel about that. I'd have to see it in this season how it works. Billy Butcher getting powers to fight Homelander, maybe. Like, I don't know how it works, because Homelander, he has those powers. But then, of course, these people aren't born with the powers. They were given the drug as kids and stuff, and that's how they got the powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think it'll just be temporary and not abundant.
Yeah, something like that. But Homelander's been fighting for 20 years or so. He's been training. So like him, like as Homelander, he has all the fighting skills. Billy Butcher, does he have as much skills as say Homelander, even though he has to give him some powers, like stuff like that? But we'll see how it goes. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is actually supposed to appear in this season, which is awesome because of Walking Dead, Batman v Superman, Watchmen, and also a Supernatural reunion with Jensen Ackles.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
That would be cool. And also
Bobby from Supernatural is also in the show too.
Oh yeah, I forget her name right now. But she was in Walking Dead as well. We get to see her in the trailer. She's gonna play like I don't know, she's one of the superheroes in this one. The older one's brought back. The blonde actress, she was in Walking Dead.
Laurie Holden.
Yeah. She's
Laurie Holden, yes.
She's in it as well. So there's a Walking Dead influence there, which is awesome. Can't wait to see that. But the show, first 2 seasons were fantastic. They're probably going to do what they did last time, was release like 3 at once and then weekly after that, which is good for discussion, because sometimes you lose kind of some things in discussion. If you binge something, you lose some talking points here and there. So it's going to be fun to talk about week to week. Trailer was okay. So I'm looking forward to the next proper trailer.
Cool, Rokan.
Yeah, I really dug the trailer. I mean, we talk. It's the only thing I don't like about it is the music choice, because it's funny.
Yeah,
in this Marvel trailer,
I agree with you.
We love the the choice with the Weekend song. They use an Imagine Dragons song right here, which Imagine Dragons are basically just like the rock band punchline of today. Like it's fun to make fun of them because they make mediocre music. So it's weird that they used Imagine Dragons song in this trailer, but I do like the whole tone that they set for this season, which is that it's going to be a more wild, more crazier season. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do agree with Maher on that, with the fact that like the appeal of the boys has always been that they're the common man.
Yeah.
Like they're mortals going up against these immortals, which is why the only immortals they have on their side is just Kimiko and Starlight.
Yeah. For me, I would say that I think it will still be a limited, power. I think it won't be widely available to them. I think it also will not be very controllable by them, and I think it also will just show a different side to the boys' team and what they can do. Some might overuse it, some might misuse it, stuff like that. So 2 seasons with them just being the boys were awesome. I could have had another one, but I'm interested to see, because it's kind of different and I did not expect this. So I always trusted them, and I know that they're good storytellers, so I just know that they will definitely have something interesting here.
Oh, absolutely.
Over or under? Over or under? 50%.
Don't ask me. I'm not gonna say who's gonna die.
No, that's not that. I'm not
Okay.
that. Do they make a Snyderverse Snyder Cut joke?
100%.
84%.
Zack Snyder's
Because-
Justice League came out last year.
Yeah, they had to
Yeah,
throw in a
that's
joke
100%.
because they had a Josh Whedon
Yeah.
joke, the rewrites one that was funny. That was very funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, and there's a lot of homage to Zack Snyder because he is the dark, gritty Justice League guy. He's the one who brought them to light, kind of, Because what was the other one? Unite the Seven was a poster or something like that.
Yeah.
It was similar to the
They had some
the Aquaman,
BVS
something like
marketing
that
for
one.
this.
Yeah. So like that's cool. So I'm expecting more.
Not to mention, there's the dude who's like pitching the Seven movie.
Yep.
At one point, he says like, "Yo, the heroes stand tall," and we play Hans Zimmer music or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah.
They also
I'm
have
looking forward to
Karen Fukuhara here. And she was, of course, Katana.
Yeah. So
Not to
I'm
mention Jensen Ackles is, he's the voice of Batman.
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good as well. So looking forward to seeing him as like a Captain America type.
They also made a
Oh,
joke.
It's
With
funny
Wonder
too-
Woman 84.
It's funny too that he's Captain America.
Oh yeah, the shield or something.
Yeah.
That was
The
good.
shield sword joke.
Yeah, that was good.
It's funny though that Jensen Ackles is playing Captain America type because Marvel wanted him to play Captain America back in like 2010, but he couldn't do it because his schedule was supernatural.
Oh, so they might
So-
even take shots at that or make some jokes about that as well.
I'd hope so. I mean, it'd be great. It's just funny that he gets to be Captain America now.
Absolutely. And there's this new character called Crimson Red, I think. She looks pretty cool in the trailer, and her suit also looks pretty cool. The one thing that I'm always surprised by the boys is the production value. The costumes are always on point. They have some of the best costumes.
Yeah, and we talk about like large scale. Like the show isn't that large scale. Like there's not that massive like action sequences either. It's mostly story and dialogue and teasing you with stuff and kind of tension more than anything than actually showing stuff at times because of the budget. But still, when the action's done, it's pretty brutal. So
Yeah, it's made by people who give a shit, and you can tell, basically.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm definitely looking forward to this, and let's move on to the next topic, which is the DCEU. And
Well, this will be fun.
yeah, a lot. But look, a few weeks ago we talked about the brand new DCEU slate of all these movies that were gonna come out this year, and it's gonna be a miracle for DC films because they had like 5 movies or 6 movies in 1 year, and now that's gone. Only a few weeks later, just 1 movie came out and they shuffled the entire slate again. And
With a trailer that aged like milk.
that awesome trailer you saw like just last month, no longer true. The worst part about all this is that The Flash once again got pushed back. The most. Oh my god. This movie was announced in 2014. 2 years later, it will be a decade. Think about it.
yeah.
But
My niece was born like around the time like as Ezra had gotten cast as the Flash. She's going to be 7 this year.
the Flash TV show debuted the year this was announced. It's in its 9th season now, and the movie hasn't come out yet. The Flash has appeared on the Flash TV show before starring in his own movie. I can
I
keep
don't know about
going
you guys,
on
but-
with the facts of the Flash.
I was pretty.
for 5 seconds on Peacemaker before being
He was
his
in
own
Peacemaker
solo movie.
before being in his own movie.
Jared Leto was I don't have a joke. It's okay. I don't have a joke. No, look, it's bullshit. That's what it is. When the announcement was made, I actually
Shit.
was like, yeah, I was
You would
like,
get that reference
you know
if you
what?
watched WeCrashed.
Okay. See, just give it a rest with all the digs now. Okay. But look, the reason it's bullshit is because when the announcement was made that the Super Bowl ad and 2022, this is the year for DC, I was actually pretty excited. We're going to get to see so many DC movies this year, every 3 months or so. That's awesome, pretty cool. Flash, Aquaman, close together. But look, when the announcement was made that everything was delayed, I was kind of like, all right, I'm not excited anymore. I'll watch the movies when they come, but I'm not counting down the days. I'm not even getting that excited. I'll talk about stuff with people, but I'm not like it's a long time away. June 2023 is ages away. Why should I be excited for the Flash movie? I'll get excited for this time next year. Okay, of course I watch the
November was
trailers and stuff
already
like that.
ages ago. Ages
Yeah,
later.
so like I'm not. I
Damn.
do not care. Do you know what? I'm a Marvel guy right now. I'm looking forward to Miss Marvel. At least that's coming soon. No, Doctor Strange. You got Thor, Love and Thunder. Those things are certainties. They're coming
Wakanda
out our way.
Forever.
That's awesome. Wakanda Forever is coming, so that's awesome. Looking
Moon
forward.
Knight.
Moon Knight. There's so many good stuff to look forward to. Well, DC is just messing around with all these projects. It's a bit of a joke. It really is. And Super Pets is now getting the July date, so there's no DC movie coming out in the summer at all. Like that's just fucking ridiculous in a way, you know. So, yeah, I couldn't give a shit anymore. I couldn't really care because I was genuinely excited for the movies coming forward, and now they just pushed everything forward. And Aquaman's a year away. Like, come on, like it's just as a fan, you're just kind of pissed off all the time. And people were kind of misinterpreted about this. Like James Wan made a tweet saying, "Oh, that's good to me. It helps me with the visual effects and stuff like that." He didn't say that's the reason why it was moved.
Mm-hmm.
He said he is glad it was moved because he needs more time with the visual effects. And I can guarantee you, any director would say that. Any team, because they all want the film to look perfect. Of course they want more. They always want more time, especially with these big animated CGI spectacle movies, which are basically just animated movies now. They want more time, of course, to make it perfect. But that's not the reason it was moved. There's other reasons at foot. Maybe it's the merger. Maybe it's because they just don't know what the F they're doing. I don't know. But that's not the reason they moved stuff, was because of the visual effects. And COVID was a reason in the article as well. Like I think that's bullshit in a way too. You know, so
Bullshit.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense because Spider-Man No Way Home went back and they had reshoots as well to add more scenes.
Dude, Morbius is coming
Strange
out.
did the same. Morbius coming out. They did a lot of reshoots there as well. It just makes no sense at all. And for me, it's bad management of the franchise. And then what the next one is Black Adam in October, then Aquaman in March, then Flash. Okay, cool. I get excited when these movies are just a few weeks away, not now, because all my excitement. Because I hyped up these movies. I was like making videos about them. I was like, oh, can't wait. This is cool. You know, Black Adam. But now I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait because fuck you. That's why, because I'm just so sick of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't like the COVID thing. It doesn't make sense when you had, No Way Home is like one of the highest grossing movies of all time. It's released in the midst of COVID. No Time to Die made a shit ton of money. Shang-Chi made a shit ton of money. Shoot, your fucking Batman movie that you just came out is doing so well. And this is what you're going to do? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense one bit. And also, like, they moved up Shazam 2, which we were all saying, oh, yeah, they should move Shazam 2. They do, and they put it right next to Avatar 2. Like, they just know it's
on the
there
same
to
day.
die.
Again.
On the same day, yeah. It just...
David Sandberg just got
doesn't-
fucked twice because the first movie came out
He
in
did.
between Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. Or Infinity
Yeah.
War.
No,
Yeah.
the Endgame.
So
It was Endgame.
that got pretty messed up because of that. And now this movie is coming out literally on the day Avatar 2 is coming out.
It doesn't make sense. And, look, I mean, yeah, James Wan said, oh, yeah, we have more time to work on the effects. And I get you want to perfect those. But you know who also said that about the effects when the movie got delayed? Director Black Widow. And you look at the effects in that movie, they are fucking dog shit.
Did the director come out and say,
They are
you have
bad.
to wait when the visual effects are in, you have to wait. I'm sorry. That was a dig
Zack
at
Snyder's
Patty.
team.
It doesn't make sense. Look, I'm no conspiracy theorist. I've never been the type that will take one thing and dive it into something different. I'm one of those guys that I take things as they are, and I'm like, and I have it on good faith that the truth comes out. Case in point, the Joss Whedon, Justice League situation. This is the one time I am going to be conspiracy theorist and think, yeah, there's something going on with the regime right now. You can't make moves like this, moves that are this substantial, and just say, well, it's due to COVID, it's due to the effects. I'm like, no, that
why
is
did
fucking,
you just sound
that is
like
fucking
Penguin?
bullshit. I get riled up about this.
I
shit.
do too, man. Look, I'm going to take a different route today because I'm always ranting about this stuff, and I just desperately want the management to change. I don't give a shit if it's for whatever reason. I just want them to go because the management is so bad at handling WB. And DC. So they should just go. But to bring another perspective, I would say, what if they were trying to release all these movies in this year because they were trying to pull another Justice League where they wanted to, just release it as soon as possible, even if it's incomplete or whatever, just to get their bonuses, because Toby Emmerich's contract expires this year and all these movies were coming before December, and just Aquaman was coming in December. So maybe that was one reason, and because of the merger they were like, no, just give them time, because I can see that Aquaman and the Flash need more time, because I was 100% certain that the Flash is going to move from November. So I'm not shocked about that at all, because that's the most, like, even with Aquaman existing, the Flash is actually the most visual effects heavy among all of these movies, and three of these characters have lightning. So that takes up most of the work. So I can see why the Flash was pushed, and because that's the movie that I'm most excited about from this bunch. And the thing that obsessed me most is that one, because that got pushed the farthest. And I was like, please, why? And it sucks, yes, and I completely share you guys' sentiment, and believe me, I've been ranting about this, so that's why today I'm kind of calm. But what if it's for the good?
Crazy. Yeah, well, yeah. But like Zack's team were on the Flash movie, and they did Zack Snyder's Justice
Yes.
within like 6 or 7 months. That looked fantastic. So
Yeah, but to be honest, some of the shots in that even could have been better with more time. Zack wanted 1
they
year.
were rushing, but like, yeah, they were rushing. But like, when did Flash start shooting? This time last year, weren't they on set? They did the Grace video.
Summer,
Yes.
They were on set before anyone else. They did an interview with Grace Randolph, and they were on set before anyone else. Like, they've been on the movie for a year now, and the movie's still not coming out for another 6 months. That's a year and a half on it. So, but like, yeah, on the positive side, the movies will look better, and maybe like Ray Fisher can get like his apology
I was
and
gonna
go
get
back
to
into
that
the movie.
too, yeah.
Maybe
Because the merger
they can
will be
reshoot some
finished by
things.
then, and yeah.
Like maybe more like maybe they all big movies have reshoots, but maybe they go back and they add something that is like mixes it well with the Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, something like that. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of benefits to this, but it could all work out. Like, I'm just being contrary right now because I don't get to see them for months. Closer to the time, I'll probably be the biggest fanboy ever, wearing my Flash hat, saying, "Yeah, let's go. Can't wait to see this." Just right now, it's very hard. I'm just kind of pissed off. I'm kind of just pissed off. I'm gonna have to win me back with a trailer or something. But yeah, there is some positives, but like, I'm tick right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just sad though that this summer we're not gonna get a DC movie. Like, at least last summer we had Suicide Squad that was for last summer, and this year we got no DC films for the summer at all.
Yeah, one more good thing about this year is that Black Adam and Shazam are coming together, which they kind of go hand in hand, and so that's good for them. Although I'm not that excited for these two as I am for Flash and Aquaman. But to the positive side of this thing, which I shouldn't be, because usually I'm very, overcritical about this because of the management. But just to be on, bring another perspective. Maybe this is for the good of the movies, like you said, Mar, because not just visually, like they could tweak some stuff for the better because the new the new management might come in after next month when the merger will finalize. They could ease things up with Ray Fisher. They could add him in because as it stands right now, potentially every single Justice League member is in there except Cyborg. So that would really look bad if that's the case. So,
And maybe they thought to themselves that because of all these movies came out in 2022, there was very little left for 2023.
Exactly.
And maybe that's what Discovery are thinking coming in. Like, look, we're gonna have all these movies this year. What about our revenue going into 2023? Like, what's that gonna look like? We don't have any DC movies.
And why do you need these movies this year? So close to each other.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 this year. Black Adam, Shazam, cool. Next year, open up with Aquaman. Then you got Flash for the summer.
Yeah.
Static Shock is going to be, or Blue Beetle is going to be later that year as well. That's probably going to be a theatrical movie. You got Black Batgirl for HBO Max.
I think Batgirl will also get pushed.
It will. It will. Yeah.
Because it takes a part of the Flash, right?
It makes sense,
Yeah.
with Michael Keaton, but that's maybe what they're thinking as well. That's why they probably pushed everything because of revenue, because of their end of year tally financial of 2022 and 2023, because they need some comic book movies in there as well to pump that up to look good. So maybe that's a reason for it as well. So yeah, look, it's frustrating, but look, it's expected as a DC fan now, but it could work out for the better. Who knows? A post-credit scene could be filmed for the Flash where it sets up a Justice League movie, and maybe it's the nightmare world. You just never know with things. I'm being very optimistic, but you just never know. So it could be for the better. It could be for the better. Could be for the worse. We'll try and be nice about it.
Yeah, look, I would say one thing as well. We just saw the Justice League cameo in Peacemaker, right? And there was no Ben Affleck and no Ray Fisher for obvious reasons. But they still tried to get a Justice League cameo in something other than Justice League movies, which was a pretty big step from what they are usually accustomed to doing. And I thought that's a pretty good step forward, right? And now with these movies coming out, maybe after the merger they could sign a new contract with Henry Cavill. Maybe they could put him in Black Adam if he wasn't already in there. Shazam probably will have, Shazam already has Wonder Woman, so they could probably add Superman in some capacity. Aquaman doesn't need Superman, but it would be cool to have him in there. The Flash could also definitely add him in there. So there's the Superman question as well. There's Cyborg's, issue with Hamada. Maybe Hamada will be fired and Cyborg could be added. Who knows? But I would, if you tell me now, outside of my instant rage, if you tell me now that these delays could give me a better experience, my waiting would be worth it, then I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's frustrating.
It is.
But it's but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and it's we expect the stuff with DC at times, but look, Black Adam's in October, then Shazam.
If Black Adam was a bit sooner, then maybe it would have been better. October is so far.
Maybe, I wouldn't have. Should have kept it to July date, Then you have Shazam in December. It's not too far away. Release, 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be perfect kind of build up to that, you know what I mean?
Or add Superman in there.
Yeah, so
because
they should add Superman.
They should, yeah.
They have loads of time to.
Because look, as much as people are anticipating that the merger will just fix everything, I'm not, because we have seen this in the past. It doesn't turn out that way, but it is kind of more hopeful this time. Because David Zaslav keep mentioning Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman and all that. So maybe his priority will be to sign a new deal with Henry Cavill. And maybe Henry Cavill will finally sign a new contract. And in that, it might, be in there to have cameos and stuff. Who knows? But on the optimistic side, these are the things that could potentially happen. and I wouldn't say that these are impossible. So that's my 1% hope, I guess, and I'll take it. But before moving on to the next topic, hey Tony is here. He says Black Widow is a top 5 CBM. Sure, man. If you want to believe that. Is Flash completely done shooting? No reshoots planned? Flash, I think, was done shooting back in October last year, and I think the reshoots were supposed to happen closer to that, and I think they already happened. But since the movie moved so far back, I think they might go into more reshoots or stuff like that soon. Maybe. They haven't announced it yet, or there's no rumors about it either. I'm just assuming. So hopefully they do that. And let's talk about that other thing that came out about Flash as well. Grace Randolph recently tweeted that she's hearing that Ben Affleck's Batman is not going to die this time, which I've always believed, because look, whether he wants to exit the role or not, I think business wise it's always bad to shut the doors. Why kill your character off when you can just leave it open and never return if you want that? Because if you want to return in the future, you can, right? Keep the door open always. So I never fully believed that he was probably going to die in this movie, but Grace Randolph, from the beginning, she said that he's going to die. A lot of other scoopers also said that he's going to die. Now she's hearing that he's probably not going to die. So maybe Andy Muschietti just shot 2 different versions of his scenes. So maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why people were hearing conflicting reports.
Both versions could be in the movie.
That is true.
He could die and he could live. It depends, because the Flash, guess what, guys, goes through different timelines, goes through different scenarios. So it could be both happening in the movie. And Ben Affleck, it's very ballsy to kill off Batman in the movie. Like, kill off Batman. Mm-hmm. You think they're going to kill off Batman?
Especially in a Flash movie?
Definitely kill him off. Yeah, I don't think so. There's so much potential with the character, stuff like that. He could end up being trapped in the nightmare world. That'd be cool. That would actually set up the Justice League movies so well on HBO Max if they did that. He could die, but then Flash brings him back. There's so much potential with this story. And Ben Affleck was very impressed with the Flash movie, and he hopes they keep the integrity of that.
Yeah,
that means don't cut my fucking scenes.
He also said that. He said that I hope that his scenes make it to the final movie. So
yeah, so
I look at it like this. I mean, Superman did die twice in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
And in BVS.
But he came back to life.
Yeah.
Came back to life. But Zack's he's a different gravy. He'd kill anybody. He doesn't give a F. He'll kill Lois Lane. He doesn't care. So
yeah.
Yeah, if he killed Jimmy Olsen, and 6 years later people are still debating over that.
Yeah. But he killed off Superman, but Superman's also going to come back. The scoopers are saying Ben Affleck's being killed off because he's never coming back. So and then Grace posted a GIF earlier on of Flash visiting Bruce in the Batcave from Batman v Superman, and she was like, "Oh, imagine a reversed version of this." Mm-hmm. That means that Bruce would be coming to Flash. That would be cool. Not in I don't know how he'd do it. Maybe like cyborg tech, or I don't know how exactly he'd do it. Wouldn't be on the cosmic treadmill, Bruce running on the cosmic treadmill, but it would be something like I don't know how they'll come up with a reason. It's a movie, of course, but that would be interesting.
The cosmic Zoom call.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's good potential of the Flash movie, but it's one of those things we're very scared right now of the Flash movie. But look, Grace, people can shit on her and stuff like that, but if she knows, she's in and around those circles, So we'll see. But
all right.
I don't think he does.
So the last topic of today, we can finally talk about some good stuff. But again, with some anger.
Yeah.
The Green Lantern scene that was cut from Zack Snyder's Justice League has finally been released. No, it hasn't. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Only the image is released.
It's a. I was in a bathroom and there was this like hard drive
Whoa.
in
Where
the
are you going
toilet,
with this?
and I roll up my sleeve. I put my hand down the toilet, and Jared Leto was there. No, but there was a hard drive, and I got to watch the
We are
Justice League scene.
live.
And what?
We are live.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, I'm saying the hard drive where Zack said that there was a hard drive in the toilet of the Snyder Cut. But no, it had Tom Cruise, Ryan Reynolds, and Wayne T. Carr and Sam Benjamin as the Green Lanterns. but the Restore the Snyderverse campaign was on the other day, and it trended pretty high, 500, something like that, 400. And Wayne T. Carr released the kind of finished still of his Green Lantern image, which was pretty cool to see. We didn't get to see the scene, of course. Maybe in the future we will. But yeah, it looked like a complete shot, which is fantastic. Doesn't mean the scene's complete, but it means that particular shot is complete.
The scene is not complete.
The suit looks awesome. He's a big guy. Like he looks fantastic. He looks so good as Jon Stewart. And he kind of wants his scene to get out there. He wants to play the character again, of course. And this is a scene that was cut from Zack Snyder's Justice League. At the end, it was supposed to be Green Lantern visiting Bruce, not Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter was supposed to have his scene transforming from Marta into Martian Manhunter, of course. But at the end, the Lanterns were supposed to come to Bruce and warn him about Darkseid and team up and have resistance ready for that. So that would have been awesome. That would have been really, really cool. But it was cut. Warner Brothers would not let it happen. Zack shot that scene in his driveway, which is awesome, pretty cool. And I like the shot, but it's one of those things like the Zack Snyder's Justice League was supposed to be his like vision, but it ended up it was his vision, but like they still cut scenes on him. So yeah, I want to see Wayne T. Carr's scene. I want to see what he looks like in full motion interacting with Ben Affleck's Batman.
I agree. And here's a video that Dave the Film Junkie put together, which kind of shows the history of how this came to be. So check it out.
Who did the scene for us was a guy named Wayne T. Carr, and he's an amazing actor, amazingly kind gentleman. And I told him, I said, look, there's a chance that this doesn't make it in the movie. We are shooting it in my driveway. So I'm not 100% sure he thought it was real.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. I thought he was playing around. I get to his house and I'm just like, okay.
Are we making a fan film, Zach?
I had no idea, and he had it all set up, and I was like, oh, and this is a real thing.
So yeah, there he is, Wayne T. Carr. I would love to see the scene one day. Of course, it's not canon anymore because the Martian Manhunter scene happened, which is also awesome because I actually like Martian Manhunter more. He's one of my favorite Justice League members, so I was so happy to see that. But I also want to see this scene because, Green Lantern obviously is a pretty awesome character, and with the finished effects and all that, I would love to see it. So just as an, alternate scene or alternate ending or something like that, you can just release it someday. So yeah.
Yeah, and like if Zack got to come back and make his Justice League 2, Wayne T. Carr would come in some capacity there as well as Green Lantern, as Jon Stewart. So there's still hope we get to see him. And we heard reports that Martian Manhunter will be in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Wayne T. Carr, like, hopefully it'd be cool to see him play the character. He's kind of an unknown actor. He's not like a big actor, but like Ray Fisher wasn't either. Zack usually casts these actors that nobody really knows, and they're fantastic and perfect for the role. So I'm sure Wayne T. Carr would be amazing to watch as Green Lantern. And in Justice League 2, hopefully that comes to fruition and we get to see him kick some ass, because that was cool. I really liked the Green Lantern scene in the history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
With the Darkseid, and also the Nightmare one where the Kilowog, is that the Green Lantern?
Still, yeah.
He was dead, probably killed by Superman. Like, that's really badass and cool. And so I want to see more Green Lanterns definitely in the DC universe because it's a big character. We haven't seen it since Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and they deleted this scene
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're making a movie about Hal Jordan and John Stewart Green Lanterns, which was also announced in 2014, by the way.
Yeah. And, well, first off, I just want to say the record, and thank God it's Wayne T. Carr, not
Yes.
Tyrese Gibson.
Yeah,
You remember when Tyrese Gibson was like campaigning forever to be John Stewart? Yeah, so I mean, yeah, Wayne looked. First off, I'm surprised that costume is CG. It doesn't look CG one bit. But yeah, I mean, I hope I've always had hope that WB re-releases Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray and puts in a ton of bonus material on it, because that's always my issue with the copy that I own, which is that there's no bonus material on it. Like, I'd like to have a director's commentary track.
They didn't give a shit. They just wanted the movie out and just be done with it.
Pretty much. But I have hope that at some point that they would re-release it with more bonus material and include the Green Lantern scene in it.
I hope so too. And the Maher, you said that the Flash movie could have a Green Lantern and it could be him, right? That also is another bonus that we could add, is now possible, because he was just released now and the movie got pushed back like almost a year. And if you want to add another character, like, post-credit scene or the ending or whatever, he's right there.
Yeah, be cool. I know a lot of people. There's people out there that don't want the DC universe to touch anything that Zack does. Like, when they lose their shit over this stuff. Like, look at the Fox X-Men universe, stuff like that. But, like, you can have the Snyderverse, you can have the DC universe. They can overlap, and they don't have to overlap. You can pick and choose. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, to be honest with you. Because Zack could come back and say, look, my canon for my Justice League 2 story is Wonder Woman 1, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and maybe that little story beat that was in Aquaman 1 or Aquaman 2, I'm going to use that as well. He can just pick and choose. And the same with the DC universe. They can pick and choose as well. They're using the same actors. Might be using some of the same story and stuff like that. So, look, it's not as deep as people wanted to make it out to be, at all. All it takes is one executive, one director coming in and saying, look, I really like what he did with that character in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I want to use that character here. I want to use that tone. That's all it takes. It's not as deep as people think. The studio isn't run as hard as Kevin Feige runs Marvel at all. It isn't. They have a story. They have a mapped out plan. DC doesn't. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. So that's why we have the Batman. That's why we have the Joker. That's why we have these multiverses. So it's not as deep as people. I watch the movies as they come. If they use certain things, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool as well. For me, my continuity of it all is that it's a multiverse, and I'm just going to pick and choose what I watch and what's fun and what's not. And we get things like the Joker, which is amazing, and I can still enjoy Jared Leto in the Nightmare scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I can still enjoy, if Matt Reeves has the Batman in his movies too. So it's not that
Peacemaker was a perfect example of how you have the Snyderverse characters in the DCEU and keep them intact. Like, the visuals and the characters were definitely, the same as Zack Snyder's Justice League, as opposed to completely changing them, what they did in Justice League's 2017 or, Shazam, whatever, because, they played the old Superman theme on top of it, walking, which was stupid. But at least, Peacemaker, they kept it intact. They looked just like they did in, just 1 year ago that we saw them in Zack Snyder's Justice League. There was the continuity because the Flash didn't have his new costume yet, and because he's gonna take that next year. But Aquaman had the Aquaman costume because that happened after Zack Snyder's Justice League. So,
and I don't mind either because he made $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
And also, Batman and Cyborg was supposed to be there, and Batman had the tactical suit, as we saw the the double wearing.
which is Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Like that's his. He come up with that concept when he was making the movies. But also like the Superman, people were saying Superman was in the red suit and stuff like that. But like Superman proved at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, he used all them suits. You can just pick and choose which one he wants to wear, really. But also, if you're going to bring Superman in for a cameo like that, and it's not Henry Cavill, you're better off to have him in the traditional suit because, what's the point of having him in a black suit? People might be confused and stuff, especially if people who didn't see the Snyder Cut. So, like, if you're going to use him as a cameo, of course you'd use the traditional suit. So I didn't have a problem with that, especially when it wasn't the actor in the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I personally looked at that moment as kind of like the gag with the X-Men and Deadpool 2, where it's just not there to, insinuate the, a connection to the universe. It's not like we'll see Peacemaker in Justice League 2 or anything like that, but it's just kind of like a gag.
I agree. It also gives respect to the larger universe. Sword. Oh yeah, that's true, Maher. That's true.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, she did have. She actually had she carried her sword.
Yeah. So
continuity after Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. It's not good continuity, but it's continuity.
Yeah. She wasn't there to fight with love. She was there to fight with a sword. But, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, it was a perfect example of how you can pick and choose characters from one universe to the other and still keep the integrity intact. And I think that would even amplify further in the coming movies, because you have Wonder Woman popping up in these different movies and hopefully Superman popping up. Then you have Ben Affleck's Batman in The Flash, and Aquaman also showing up in The Flash. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how that's going to go. I'm hoping that they add Cyborg and hopefully Green Lantern. I know that we never got to see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I would much prefer that he debuts in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. But I also kind of would love to see him pop up in Flash as a cameo. It would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
They gotta do something. They gotta do something with Green Lantern if that HBO Max series isn't making any sense.
I think that show will just not have Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. They will just have the others. So I don't see them, affecting the show that much, or the show affecting the DCU that much. I think that would just be about those other characters who I don't care about, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, Wenty Carr looks fantastic. Hope to see him soon. And he has a good social media presence out there as well. Of course, he wants to see the restoring of the Snyderverse, as they say, with Justice League 2. And I hope it happens. And I hope we get to see him in some capacity in the future as well, because Zach cast him, he has to be good.
Absolutely. All right, so let's wrap it up. And, we have another show this weekend. Hopefully, we'll have some big news by then. You know what? We didn't get a Batman sequel announcement. I really thought we would get a sequel announcement on Monday. I really did. Maybe they are not allowed to make new, they're not allowed to greenlight new movies until the merger, maybe. That's the only reason I can think of.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, Dune took a few weeks, did it? As well, I think. So maybe they're waiting.
It took a few weeks.
But Dune is legendary.
Well, what about Godzilla versus Kong?
That was pretty soon after too, as well. But that was, remember they talked about that as well. Same with Wonder Woman 84. Like they said the sequel's coming straight away. It's like, yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. Maybe they're going to wait for when it hits VOD or the streaming service. I don't know, but like that's going to be a guarantee.
You know what? That's a good idea. Maybe when it releases on HBO Max on April 19th, maybe then they'll announce it. But yeah. We will be covering Severance and also WeCrashed, which you both are gonna watch because it's awesome.
I will.
So yeah, until then, you can find me at Krypton Caged on all social media. You can follow at The Real Talk Live on all social media, including TikTok and Instagram, where we post clips from the show as well, and Maher has been doing shorts on YouTube as well, so you can find that as well.
Suits me. 15 seconds. You know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's my peak.
It would have picked more if you had watched WeCrashed.
Yeah. Well, if you want to watch me, no, it's okay. Yeah, you can follow me on social media. Movies that matter, all social media, on YouTube and TikTok and all that crack. Also, yeah, come follow the Real Talk Live social media accounts as well, because it's new trailers get posted there on the TikTok and stuff like that, and that's good interaction with people. There's kind of like it's funny because there's a Twitter following, and there's people on Instagram who are like a different following altogether who comment under the post and stuff like that, you know. So it's interesting to see the different sides of things, and yeah, so yeah, I really appreciate everyone helping out the channel, and yeah, we do appreciate it because it's awesome.
Absolutely. Rokan, where can they find you?
Well, they can find me
Here.
They can find me somewhere in Tucson, Arizona, and right here too. No, yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Hero at Roku9413 and on Instagram at that real Roku.
Awesome. So until the weekend,
My MySpace as well.
Oh, there's a good pun. Weekend, Blinding Lights, Miss Marvel. It's all connected. Captain Marvel 2, Brie Larson is the goat.
What?
The goat of trash. Sure. Sorry, Brie. Love you.
All right. Bye-bye and take care.